No Emilio Barreras, no Steven Lancia, no Alex Vergara, no Maddox Haley. But we do have Jesse Cook and Austin Barach in the broadcast booth again. And Jesse, without those four guys, the four staples of this offense, where does Tyler Brunn turn to today in Chugiak?
There's some new faces in the lineup. Well, same faces, different positions. The Miners are getting unconventional. Mario Bejarano is a designated hitter. He hasn't played DH. He hasn't hit since June 9th. That's more than a month ago. Braden Rogers will be behind the dish. Last time he played there was June 8th, more than a month ago. Landon Rogers will be back in the field, playing left field. He hasn't played the field in a little bit. But the Miners are not scratching the bottom of the barrel, because obviously these are top-tier athletes, but they're doing things a way we haven't seen them do in a while.
That's for sure. And at least on the hill for Matsu, a familiar face. It's Cannondale. Yes, it's not a Monday.
I know.
And he's facing the Chinooks for the second time this season. For the first time since opening day, Jesse, what can we expect out of him?
Well, I think the main thing you can routinely expect from Cannondale is longevity. He's proved time and time again with multiple starts of 5 innings or more that he's meant to go long. And that'll really help this team. We will see Vinny Bianchi out of the bullpen most likely in his last game with Matsu. Could be his last collegiate baseball game. He doesn't know if he'll play at Notre Dame. So this is an important one just from an emotional standpoint for Matsu fans and his teammates, because Bianchi has become a clubhouse favorite over the last month.
Everybody loves Vinny, and everybody loved the win yesterday against the Anchorage Bucks. If you're a Matsu fan, that was a battle for first place, and here it is. Roll the highs.
Stop me if you've heard this before, but the Matsu Miners and the Anchorage Bucks are playing for a spot in first place in the Alaska Baseball League. The Bucks sit a half game ahead of the second place Miners, and it's the third time these two teams have battled this season with the top spot up in the air. With Austin Barach, I'm Jesse Cook. The 2-2, swing and a miss. Grant Richardson with 3 strikeouts. He K's him for the side. And the Bucks are left scoreless in the first inning, stranding a runner in scoring position in Alex Pendergrass. Now he's got Dylan Maltby backed up in a 1-2 count. Are we about to see a 6th strikeout?
I hope so. That'd be so fitting right now.
It's the second inning. You can only get 6 outs by this point. Richardson deals. Oh, yes! Strike 3 for the 6th time in just 2 innings. This is prime Grant Richardson, and you're seeing it live. The 1-2. In the dirt, skips away from catcher Maltby. It gets to the third base side. Lancia takes third. He rounds. He'll score! 2 bases, 1 wild pitch, and the Miners lead 1-0 over the Bucks in the bottom of the second inning with nobody out in this battle for first place. The 2-1 pitch, he swings and drills it into left field. 1 run scores in Carpenter. Another run comes around in Braden Rogers. A 2-run single for Caleb Hannes, and the Miners lead 4-0 with runners on first and second and the top of the order due up. He's been on against the Bucks. The pitch swings, loops into shallow center field. That's down for a hit right in front of Bodeker. 1 run scores in first and everybody else holds. The throw home is offline, but Maltby collects it with 2 other players covering the plate. So Cooper Vest has his 4th RBI in 2 days, and the Miners lead 5-0 with nobody out in the bottom of the second, and the bases still loaded. The 1-0, Vergara swings and cuts it to deep right center field, hooking into the gap, near the wall, looking up, that ball is off the foot of the fence, no, it's gone! Alex Vergara with a big grand slam, and the Miners just cannot stop. 9-0, 9 runs, 1 inning. The full count pitch. Swing and a miss. High and inside cheese, and Grant Richardson makes it Swiss because that was a hole. Anchorage has yet to record a hit. Matsu is up 9-0. Could this be a better day to be a Matsu Miners fan through the first 2.5?
The payoff. Swung on and hit in a shallow left center field. Vergara makes a dive and catch. 2 days, 2 diving catches for the center fielder for Matsu, and the no-hitter remains alive. 2 outs in the 4th inning. Nobody on, 2 outs. Top of the 4th, Matsu up 9-0 over the Anchorage Bucks in a battle for first place. The payoff pitch swung on and missed. Grant Richardson continues going strong. That's his 10th K of the day. He's gone 4 super strong innings so far. Through 3.5, it's 9-0 Miners. The 1-1 gets above the head, past Lancia. Hoka scores from third base. And the runner from second goes on to third. It's now 9-2 on that wild pitch. Rogers 90 feet away. Matsu already up 9-2 here in the bottom of the 5th. Brown out of the stretch. He deals. Breaking ball in the dirt. Swung through to the backstop, though, and Rogers scores from third base as Hannes gets the first. An unorthodox run, and the Miners have double digits. It's 10-2.
The 1-1. Swung on, belted to second. Tucker fields it, throws to the back for 1. Across to first. Yes, sir! A double play for Matsu. Nolan Tucker to Alex Thurston to Cooper Vest. 4-6-3. That moves Miles Smith into third base. But that's a sorely needed double play for this defense that had put the first 2 runners on. And Lancia had Matsu's last hit before that Vergara single. Can you guess what inning that came in?
The second?
That's right. Since then, no hits for the Miners. The pitch. Lancia swings, rips into left field. Tucker scores. It's 12-5 Matsu. Vergara moves up to second on the single, and Steven Lancia has his 3rd hit of the day. Caden Carpenter up at the plate, batting from the left side. First pitch, he swings, drills it out to short. Hoka fields it on the backhand, lobs onto first. It gets by him! An easy throw, and it one-hop Thomas and got away. Vergara scores, Lancia moves over to third, and Carpenter is into second. Logan Hoka, after such a good grab and a diving play earlier in this inning, royally messes up. It's 13-5 Miners. 0-2. For first place, he deals. Swing and a miss. Skips away from the catcher. Lancia picks up. Lobs onto first. Vest stabs it. And the Matsu Miners are back in control of the ABL in first place. A 13-5 victory. Will Rizzo has a 1-2-3 inning in the 9th. And Matsu from the bottom of the valley is atop the mountain. Stop me if you've heard this before, but the Matsu Miners and the Anchorage Bucks are playing for a spot in first place in the Alaska Baseball.
It's a day of firsts for the Matsu Miners. For the first time since June 8th, Braden Rogers is catching. For the first time since June 9th, Mario Bejarano is hitting. And for the first time since opening day, 38 days ago, Cannondale takes on the Chinooks. It's the first place Miners playing in Chugiak at Lee Jordan Field alongside Jesse Cook. I'm Austin Barach, and Jesse, we got an interesting set of lineups today for both teams, particularly the Miners. Leading off, no surprise, Nolan Tucker. Then his Valpo teammate Caleb Hannes is in the 2-hole today, followed by Cooper Vest at first. He's in the 3 spot for the first time in a while. Landon Rogers is in left. He's never played the field in a real game this season. In the cleanup spot, that's a new spot for him as well. Carpenter, a staple in right, he's batting 5th. Braden Rogers, as we alluded to, doing the catching today, he's batting 6th. Bejarano, first time since June 9th against the Oilers in the lineup right there. He's got 6 at-bats on the season. Then Alex Thurston, he's been hot as of late. At short again with the injured Emilio Barrera sideline. And Sebastian Tomlin making his first start in about a week playing center field. Cannondale, of course, on the bump. For the Chinooks, Austin Young, Ryan Leonasia, Ryan Callahan, Blake Wilhoit, no surprise, top 4 right there. Tommy Rover, who had 2 double play groundouts 2 days ago, batting 5th. Ryan Madison in the 6th-hole. John Whitney, he did not play a couple days ago. He's in the 7th spot. Cy Beck. And Kevin Durant, who also did not play a couple days ago in Matsu, is in there with starting pitcher Grant Rising on the bump for the Chinooks.
Austin, the Matsu infield isn't anything new. We saw this exact setup last night, but the outfield, Tom Merlin back in the starting lineup, Landon Rogers in left field, like you said, that has not happened, and then Braden Rogers behind the dish. It feels new. Now, Landon and Braden have both done bullpen catching duties. They've both gotten their reps in behind the dish during pregame warm-ups and things like that, but it's definitely a different feeling coming back into the lineup. And Mario Bejarano will know that for sure because he's had batting practice every day, but still searching for that first hit because he hasn't hit in a professional, in a real game in over a month.
That's right. Matsu without its top 4 batters by batting average this season. Barreras and Haley sidelined with a couple of injuries, and Lancia and Vergara have the day off. So here we go. It's Rising, the lefty on the hill, versus Tucker, the lefty at the dish. Rising this season comes from Eastern Michigan. He's a rising senior at 6'4", 195. He's made 3 starts, 4 appearances, has a 10.93 ERA through 14 innings. He's yet to face the Miners. Rising's first pitch, called a strike on the outside corner.
Nolan Tucker is a noted first pitch swinger, so it's good for him to see one before he actually cuts.
The 0-1 misses low, skips in the turf. It's 1-1. Tucker this season is batting .224, the rising redshirt junior out of Valpo. He's 11 for 49. Yesterday against the Bucks, he went 0 for 2, but he did have 2 walks, a hit by pitch, 3 stolen bases, and 3 runs. The 1-1 is tagged up and out of play along the third base side. It's 1-2.
That foul ball brought to you by Northwest Carpet Company, the right direction in flooring.
Tucker was not in the lineup against Chugiak 2 days ago. He did play the Chinooks last Saturday at home. He went 1 for 4 in that affair. The 1-2. Breaking ball just misses upstairs. A couple inches above the belt of Tucker. It's 2-2. Rising, working out of the windup. He kicks and deals. The pitch is clobbered to first base, but there is Beck who stabs it and walks over to tag the bag for the first out of the game.
It's good to get out to a good jump if you're Matsu, but it's also important just to know that you can hit the ball hard. That was a rope out at first base. Beck just made a good play on it. If Tucker keeps swinging like that, one will eventually find a gap.
So after that hard hit ground ball, Here's Caleb Hannes batting on the right side. First pitch to him. It's called a strike on the outside corner. Hannes this season is batting .254. He's hit safely in 9 of his last 11 games, dating back to June 26th. The 0-1. Swing and miss on the changeup. It's quickly 0-2. Hannes has struck out 14 times this season in 59 at-bats. He's down 0-2 right here against Rising. The pitch. Fastball left upstairs. It's 1-2. Nobody on, 1 out. Top of the first, 0-0. The 1-2. Misses low. Skipped well past the catcher, Will Hoyt. And that knocks our camera ajar. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to the 2-hitter, Caleb Hannes. He went 1 for 3 yesterday against the Bucks with a couple of RBIs and a walk. The pitch swung on, hit to short. Rovers there, collects it, throws on a first base low, but caught at the ankles by Beck. 2 groundouts to begin this game.
It's a good sign for the Chinooks that Rising can force low contact and make Matsu put the ball on the ground. His real test comes with Cooper Vest, a left-handed hitter who has already tattooed the ball this season with a home run and one of the best RBI lines on the Miners roster. That with
16.
Yeah, 16 of them.
The first pitch to that lefty is called a strike, right around the knee level. Tattoo is a great word to describe Cooper Vest and how hard he hits balls. When he hits it on the line, watch out. He's got 10 extra base hits on the year. The pitch in the turf, it's 1-1. Vest is also the first Matsu Minor player this season to reach 100 at-bats. He's got 103 of them. Went 2 for 5 against the Chinooks 2 days ago in Matsu. The pitch. Catches the outside corner for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Cooper Vest. Lefty-lefty matchup. The 1-2. Breaking ball. Hit down the first base line, but just foul. Remains 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That foul ball brought to you by JR Septic Pumping and Excavation.
Rising ready to go as Vest re-enters the box. The 1-2. Curveball left low. Count evens up at 2 apiece. Vest batting in the 3 spot for the first time in a while. He's been accustomed to the 2 hole, but now with Vergara out, he's at the 3. The pitch runs low. It's a full count. Vest has yet to walk against the Chinooks in 6 previous games. Does it happen right here? Not quite, as he flares one foul.
That foul ball is brought to you by 3 Bears Alaska, the Chinooks official water source.
Vest has 27 at-bats against Chugiak, 0 walks.
This season as a whole, he struck out 16 times.
The payoff pitch. Fastball smoked in a center field. Duran runs back and doesn't get there. It's over his shoulder. Gets to the wall. Vest stops at second base and has himself a stand-up double. Boy, was that rocketed.
It's almost a shame he put that to center. It's a 400-foot fence. If that goes to any other part of the yard, it's gone. That's a lucky break for Chugiak that Vest only got 2 bases on that hard swing.
You're right, Jesse. Any other part of the ballpark, that is probably out of here for his 2nd official homer of the season. But it brings up Landon Rogers batting cleanup for the first time this season. He bats .227 on the year.
Went 0 for 4 yesterday in relief of Maddox Haley, who left with an injury. The pitch swung through into the catcher's mitt for strike one on a high fastball. Rogers out of Santa Fe Community College is 1 for 8 against the Chinooks this season. Went 0 for 4 with an RBI and a walk 2 days ago. He's got a runner in scoring position, invest right here in the top of the first. 2 outs, nothing game. Rising check second, fires home. Swung through again on a high fastball, it's 0-2.
Rogers was guessing at those pitches, didn't know where they were going to end up. To have a better idea of where Rising might go. Now that it's an 0-2 count, he's got no reason not to try that fastball up high well again.
Rogers struck out 3 consecutive times to end yesterday's game for him. Rising's 0-2 popped up. Infield play. Beck, the first baseman, calls for it in foul territory, and he spirals and makes a catch for out number 3. So after half an inning, it's still scoreless here in Chugiak. We'll be right back. It's the bottom of the first, and Cannondale, the soon-to-be BYU Cougar, has Austin Young, Ryan Leonasia, and Ryan Callahan 2 up. Here in the bottom of the first, Daly enters with a 3.76 ERA in 5 starts, 26 and a third innings, allowing 11 earned runs. First pitch to Young is a fastball right down the middle for strike one. Young bats .274 on the season, 20 hits and 73 at-bats. He had a good day at Matsu 2 days ago. He went 3 for 5 with a double and 3 RBIs. The 0-1 is chopped to third base. Hannah scoops it chest high and fires on a first in time for out number 1. Good old reliable Caleb Hannes makes the first out of the bottom of the first.
Hannes has been so surefire at third base for Matsu. He's got 0 fielding errors, he's got 1 throwing error this year, but he practices that hop across the infield all day, moving over to his left and making the throw on the run. It's something that he's made his specialty.
Certainly has. Here's Ryan Leonasia. Pitch. Fastball runs inside for ball 1. Leonasia, unfortunately for him, his specialty has been dropping in batting average. He's now under 300 on the year. He was at 321 just a couple of days ago, but went 0 for 4 at Matsu. The pitch swung on, tipped into his lower pad there at the left foot. It's 1-1.
Well, remember, Leonasia was the top hitter on the Chinooks roster through that first week of play, batting over 400, so he really has dropped off.
Yes. He's batting just
105 against the Miners specifically this year. 2 for 19. The pitch, up and in for ball 2. It's 2-1. Leonasia, a rising junior at California State University, has certainly struggled as of late. And Daly, as we alluded to, his first start here against the Chinooks in 38 days, opening day, as that 2-1 stings the inside corner. It's even up at 2 apiece. Good frame there by Brandon Rogers, who, as we also mentioned, making his first start behind the dish since June 8th against the Glacier Pilots on that first Thursday of the season. The 2-2 misses low. It's a full count.
I'm interested to see how Rogers adjusts, because when I played catcher, I always wanted, after a long break from going behind the dish, longer innings so I could get more accustomed to it and be more sure of myself later in the game.
Daly's 3-2. Fastball swung to the backstop. Remains a full count. Rogers is the second batter due up in the top of the second for the Miners. Steven Lancia has a day off. Maybe strategic with a scheduled doubleheader tomorrow. And backup catcher Grant Farlander leaving the team today. The 3-2 misses low. And Leonasia earns himself a walk.
Well, you're absolutely right about Lancia. It is a scheduled day off for him, so Tyler Brunn is giving him, as well as Alex Vergara, some much-needed rest. Both of them have been a little banged up, nothing too serious, but they will be back in the lineup tomorrow.
So with 1 on and 1 out and a 0-0 bottom of the first, Ryan Callahan, the left fielder, digs in on the right side. The pitch is swung through, up and in. Got him close to the hands. It's 0-1.
That was dirty, high and in. Daly completely had him fooled. Callahan swung and immediately knew it was wrong. He thought it would drop, but it never did.
Daly's 0-1. Hit to third. Hannes can't make the play on the backhand, and everybody is safe. It was a hard-hit ball along that third base line. Hannes ranged and went into a half slide, but couldn't quite make the play.
That's right. Good job by Hannes to even get the ball, and he kept it in front of him. That keeps it from being extra bases with one swing of the bat. So Blake Wilhoit's up in a difficult spot because he's got to drive around both these runners, but the Mat-Su defense is playing middle in, and he's been a ground ball specialist this season with 2 double plays committed against Mat-Su.
The next batter up, Tommy Rover, credited to 2 double plays against Mat-Su on Tuesday, so definitely a possibility as that first pitch misses low and in. Wilhoit out of Dallas Baptist University, a rising junior there, bats .283 on the year. He went 1 for 3 with a pair of walks and a strikeout against the Miners back in Palmer a couple days ago. The Chinooks were off yesterday, so this is their first game since they lost to the Miners. That one is popped up. Hannes gives chase, but watches it drop foul out of play. It's 1-1.
Laborers, local number 341.
That Callahan hit, by the way, we score as an infield hit, not an error against Hannes.
That's right. It's a hit.
2 on, 1 out, bottom of the first. The 1-1 runs outside. It's 2-1.
Daly's usually been good about finding the strike zone early. That's what's made him a strong starting pitcher candidate, is that he attacks batters. It's interesting to see how he's working around players early in this game.
Daly swivels his head. Runner, big lead at second to throw home. Drifts away again. It's 3-1. I mean, you're right about Daly and how long he goes. He's gone at least 5 innings in all 5 of his starts. He went 6 1/3 against the Chinooks. After that, he's gone exactly 5 in every start since then. Daly peers in, the 3-1 out of the stretch. Catches the outside corner. It's a full count. Again. Another full count this inning, this time to the cleanup man, Blake Wilhoit.
This is a must-have right here if you're Mat-Su. You've only got one man in scoring position, a double play opportunity that would end the inning.
The pitch, slapped foul, hitting the top of the fence behind home plate. Ricochets right back to Daly, who picks up the pitch, and he is going to use that same ball for this next pitch.
Good spot. No, he's not. They got a new one. Well, base umpire, no, he gives it back.
Oh, wow. What a play-by-play. All right, so righty on the hill, lefty at the plate. Another full count right here. The Chinooks have made Daly work here in the bottom of the first. 2 on for Chugiak in a 0-0 game. Daly's offering, swung at, and popped up and out of play.
Austin, the Chinooks have a real problem as far as batting average. Only one player is hitting above 300, and that's Ben Weaver, who has only played 7 games this season, and to my knowledge is no longer with the team. So they've got a number of players below 300. Will Hoyt, one of them, third on the team in batting average at 283. If you can retire him, the rest of the order is cake.
Big pitch right here. Back up the middle. Tucker stabs it, flips underhand. That's 1 out. The throw to first is not in time. So it's a 4-6 fielder's choice. Well, actually, the runner at second base is not leaving. So
Thurston was off the bag.
Wow. So I take that back. There is still just 1 out, and the bases are loaded for Tommy Rover. Rover, a lefty, bats .236. The pitch. Changeup called a strike right at the knees. Rover has mightily struggled against Matsu this season. He is 1 for 14. That's a batting average of .071. And he went 0 for 5 2 days ago in Palmer. Daly's 0-1. Catches the outside corner. It's quickly 0-2. And as we've mentioned multiple times now, Rover has grounded into 5 double plays this season, including 2 on Tuesday, including the final outs of the game. A double play right here would do wonders for Matsu. The pitch. Hit to the backstop. Still 0-2.
This is a game where Matsu's defense really needs to step up big. They've already shut out the Chinooks once this season, so that would be huge for Matsu, especially when you're experimenting with your offense with Mario Bejarano coming back into the lineup and your top 2 hitters in Vergara and Lancia being absent from the show.
The 0-2. Hit in the left field. Right at Rogers. He makes a catch and throws home directly to the plate. Wow. Rogers to Rogers. The runners stay kaput. And there are 2 outs in the first. Wow, what a throw from Landon Rogers.
How long has it been since he played left field?
He hasn't, except for exhibition.
Yeah. He did that on the fly, threw a strike to home. He dared the runner on third and Leonasia to try him. So Landon Rogers clearly fits in the outfield very well.
It's Rogers, Tomlin, and Carpenter from left to right. No Vergara, no Haley today. The pitch. Just above the zone to the right-hand hitting Ryan Matheson. Matheson, the everyday third baseman for Chugiak, bats .250. He's also appeared as a pitcher in 7 games. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Matheson is tied for second in the ABL in strikeouts. He's K'd 25 times this season. Daly out of the stretch, the 1-1. Fastball roped into center field, but Tomlin measures it up and makes the grab with ease. That retires the side. Daly gets out of a bases-loaded situation, and after 1 inning, it's still scoreless here at Lee Jordan Field. We'll be back.
It's the top of the second. Chugiak threatened in the bottom of the first, but came up empty, so it's still 0-0. And 5, 6, 7 are due up for the minors. Caden Carpenter, Braden Rogers, and Mario Bejarano. They face the tall lefty, Grant Rising, 6'4" at the hill, 6'4" at the dish. First pitch of the second inning is tipped to the backstop. It's 0-1. Carpenter this year is batting .256, 20 hits and 78 at-bats. On yesterday against the Bucks, he went 0 for 4 with a walk and a run. Rising's 0-1. Curveball catches the zone, the upper half of the zone. It's 0-2.
Caden's had trouble with inside curveballs from left-handed pitchers, especially when they come low and inside. So don't be surprised if Rising goes back to that well.
The pitch swung through on a breaking ball, a 3-pitch punch-out, and there's one gone.
Austin, I got a question for you.
Do
I know ball? I think I know ball.
Yeah, good call.
Low and inside curveball from the lefty to Carpenter.
So one gone. Here's Braden Rogers, the right-hand batter. Steps in, the pitch. Swung on and lasered, but right at the shortstop rover. One pitch and another out. And there are 2 gone in the second for Mario Bejarano. And as we've alluded to, this is Mario's first at-bat since June 9th, over a month ago. The pitch, fastball, stings the outside corner for strike 1. Bejarano is 0 for 6. Again, all those at-bats came in the first week of the season. Opening day, he was in the lineup. He went 0 for 3, and he swings through that fastball in the outside corner. It's quickly 0-2. So he's still searching for that first hit.
And that swing looked fresh. He was very much taken aback by the fastball.
Rising's 0-2. Fastball misses low. Good take. It's 1-2.
Yeah, that second strike, Bejarano was very much behind it, and he pulled his head out of his swing, ending up on his front foot. If he wants to drive it, he's got to stay on that back leg. So Rising is probably going to want to go back to outside and low.
Rising's 1-2. Fastball just off the plate. County evens up at 2 apiece.
Smart take from Mario. I mean, he's a pitcher. He knows how to deal with batters, and that obviously helps him at the plate.
Does it help him here? The 2-2. Breaking ball catches the upper part of the strike zone. Rising K's his second batter of the inning through 1.5. It's still scoreless here in Chugiak. We'll be right back. Bottom of the second rolls along here alongside Jesse Cook. I'm Austin Barach. Canadelli set to deal with the bottom of the order for the Chinooks in John Whitney, Ty Beck, and Kevin Duran. First batter is Whitney. He's a left-hand batter out of Samford University, a rising sophomore there. The pitch. called a strike on the inside corner. The fastball puts Daly ahead in the count, 0-1. Whitney's batting 242 on the year. His last game was Monday against the Oilers. The 0-1. Hits the backstop. It's quickly 0-2. That game against the Oilers on Monday was just his second outing since the June 23rd matchup here against the Miners. He went 1 for 4 with a strikeout on Monday. Tally up in the count. Continues to work out of the stretch. Pitch. Spoiled.
That foul ball brought
Hit out
to you
of
by
play.
the
It's still
Tigers.
0-2.
We do it all.
Daly's staying at a consistent 90 miles per hour on his fastball. Hasn't picked up or lost speed yet.
Daly with a big nod in agreement of the pitch. The 0-2. Chopper, right side of the infield. Vest collects it, flips on it. Daly, and he's called out. Bang, bang, play it first. The BYU connection gets it done, and there's one gone in the bottom of the second.
This is where they're building that connection.
To number 23.
And Vest plays outfield most of the time for the Cougars, so it will be interesting come 2024 to see how that develops. But Daly, who just transferred to Brigham Young, certainly has made a good friend in Vest.
Oh, yeah. So here's the 6'3" tie back out of Masters University. The fastball misses inside. That was at 91 miles an hour. Beck is batting 231 on the year. He went 2 for 4 with an RBI in a run against the Miners 2 days ago. Fastball this time misses low, an inch or two below the knees. It's 1-1. Beck had 10 extra base hits this season at Masters University, has just 1 so far this season in 65 at-bats. The pitch. Breaking ball, called a strike on the outside corner. It's 1-2. Beck is just 4 for 20 against the Miners this season. The 2-1 pitch is swing and a miss. It's 2-2.
Beck is just 4 for 20 against the Miners, but he went 2 for 4 in the last game they played. So either that was a blip or a flip switched for him against Matsu.
He's been 0 for in 4 of his 6 matchups against Matsu. The 2-2 changeup just misses low. It's a full count.
Ofer, that was my nickname in high school.
0 for. 0 for.
No, just Ofer.
The payoff slash the backstop. It's still a full count.
You might think that was my nickname because of my batting average, but it was also because of my grades.
Well, nobody likes to see that, Jesse.
I'm still in college.
It's true. The 3-2. Checked swing. Did he go? The third base umpire says yes, he did. And Daly has himself his second strikeout, first strikeout. I'm looking at the wrong page for out number 2 of the second.
Well, Camden Daly is no stranger to striking out multiple batters in a game, so he might get up to 3 sooner than you think.
Daly began the day with 20 strikeouts to 11 walks on the year. The pitch hits Duran on the helmet. Oof. You could hear that one squarely. Duran is trying to walk it off here. That's the first time he's been hit by a pitch this season. Obviously unintentional. Third base coach checks on him along with some of his teammates. That's a tough one.
Well, Duran doesn't look like he's in too much pain. He walked it off and started just nodding his head. Now he's talking to the trainer, but I think he's going to stay in the game. He's walking over to first.
So as Duran walks with Matsu's athletic trainer to first base,
The top of the order in Austin Young comes up. He grounded out to Caleb Hannes to begin the bottom of the first.
That was kind of a weak chopper. Daly pitched something low and inside and got ahead of him. So I wouldn't be surprised if Camden went back to that well. Young has had a problem turning around on inside pitches thus far this season.
1 on 2 outs, bottom of the second, 0-0 game. The pitch to Young misses outside.
Oh, I'm not Nostradamus.
I thought you were.
I went 3 for 3.
You have to retire on top.
I'm no Tony Romo.
The 1-0. Fastball misses up high. The throw to first base. It's called safe barely. Brandon Rogers had a great idea right there and nearly picked off Kevin Durant, who slid back head first at first base. Wow. That pitch, I believe, was called a ball, so it's 2-0 to Young. Daly checks the runner at first. Durant is 2 for 4 on stolen bases this season. He comes home. Fastball right down the middle for a strike. Durant, the base runner there, went 1 for 2 on stolen bases on Monday against the Oilers. Daly checks on him, and he's back safely head first. Slide.
It was a close call both times. Duran looks ready to jump, and you can tell that because of how late he is getting back to the base.
Daly's 2-1 offering. Popped up, first base side, tailing foul. So it's 2-2.
That ball brought to you by Chepo's Mexican Restaurant, the place to eat.
5 of Young's 19 strikeouts this season have come against the Miners. It's a 2-2 count right here with 2 outs, 1 on. The pitch, fastball, down the middle, not called a strike. The throw on to second base, and he's out. Braden Rogers guns down Kevin Durant for the 3rd out of the inning. Wow, through 2 innings, it's still scoreless here at Lee Jordan Field. We're back, top of the 3rd here in Chugiak, Alaska. To my left is Jesse Cook and Brandon Downer. I'm Austin
Back
Barrett.
for the Miners, number 6, Alex.
That's right,
Thurston.
Brandon Downer, normal starting pitcher for Matsu, is sitting next to us with the radar gun, doing the pitch clock for his team.
8-9-1 due up for Matsu, Alex Thurston, Sebastian Tomerlin, and Nolan Tucker. Lefty on the hill, righty at the dish. The pitch. Fastball misses upstairs, ball 1.
And we actually have to give Brandon a thank you because he fixed our camera earlier.
Yeah.
He's what, 6'4"? I'm 5'8". I couldn't get up there, so he had the reach.
Man of many talents, the 1-0. Fastball, checked swing, called a strike in the outside corner. Pitcher by day, fixer of cameras by night. That's Brandon Downer right there. So here's Thurston. He's 205 on the batting average this season, the rising senior at Valpo.
Third pitch of the at-bat misses low, scooped in the dirt, fielded by Will Hoyt, the catcher. Thurston went 1 for 4 yesterday against the Anchorage Bucks. Scored a run in that process. 1 of 13 for the Miners. That 13-5 win got them first place in the ABL. The 2-1 misses high. It's 3-1.
This is Alex's first time playing in 3 consecutive games since that first week of the season.
That's a great point. The 3-1 pitch misses low, and Alex Thurston earns his 4th walk in the last 2 games here against the Chinooks. Lead runner on in the 3rd.
That's right. Tuesday was a big day for him. He went 1 for 1 with those 3 walks, like you mentioned.
Sebastian Toller.
That's 5 straight times he's reached base against Chugiak.
So here's Sebastian Tomlin. The last time he was in the batting order was July 5th at the Oilers. 8 days ago, he shows bunt, pulls back, called a ball off the edge of the plate. Tomlin has shown bunt many times this season, and he's been pretty effective with laying him down. Tomlin, a rising sophomore out of Central Arizona Community College. That's just 130 on the year. Lefty shows bunt again, pulls back again, and takes another ball just outside. It's 2-0 to the 9-hitter.
Tomlin's been an important piece for Matsu lately. That last game he played, his RBI came through clutch. He's really been an Oilers killer with 3 ribbies against them.
Rising, long wait, pitch is way high. Will Hoyt jumps to his feet to make the catch. 3 balls, 0 strikes to Tomlin.
Sebastian has succeeded when pitchers throw low to him. He's struggled with the high stuff, and that's because he's not a power hitter, but he does a really good job of putting the ball on the ground and making contact to the shallow outfield. Right in no man's land.
Out of the stretch, throwing to first base. Thurston easily back safe. Thurston this year 0 for 2 on stolen base attempts. Tomlin, you're right about not being a power hitter. 0 extra base hits this season. Had 3 this past season for the Vaqueros. The 3-0 fastball catches the bottom of the zone. It's 3-1.
And we got an inkling from head coach LeBrun that at some point during the latter part of the season, you might see Tomlin get some reps on the hill. He was a great pitcher in high school.
Wow. Vinny Bianchi, of course, leaving tomorrow for the Miners. The reliable relief pitcher. About to attend Notre Dame. The 3-1 fastball catches the outside corner. It's a full count to Sebastian.
Unless Daly pulls out a miracle 9-inning game, we will see Vinny Bianchi pitch in relief.
That's right. The 3-2 fastball misses up and away. Tomlin earns himself a walk, and Rising has walked back-to-back batters, setting up the leadoff man in Nolan Tucker with 0 outs and 2 runners on in the top of the 3rd.
And that's a sign that Rising has slipped something in his mechanics because he didn't walk a single batter to start the game. He only took 1 Matsu hitter to a full count, to a 3-ball count. So something has gone amiss for him, and it's hard to adjust to that mistake when you have the top of the order due up in Matsu.
Could you say that his pitch count has been rising? Sorry. Tucker shows bunt. The pitch is low, gets away briefly from Will Hoyt, but he chases after it. The runners do not advance.
Yes, the pitch count is rising.
Yeah.
We got Jerry Seinfeld over here.
No, that's beneath good old Jerry. That's too much of an alley-oop for him. Here's Tucker. He grounded out to back the first baseman to begin this game in the top of the 1st. He shows bunt again, pulls back, leaves it upstairs. It's 2-0. I mean, when Tucker, we've hammered it home before, you know, standing at 5'9", when he crouches to show bunt, it's a really small strike zone to throw at.
Are you ripping on guys below 6
I
feet?
am not.
What are you doing here?
I'm not. Use it to his advantage, that's for sure. The 6'4" Rising appears at second base, fires home, bunt shown, and that's a strike right down the middle. It's 2-1.
Yeah, that is something that doesn't change when Tucker squares to bunt. It is his knees stay at the same spot. If Rising can just paint the lower part of the zone, then he'll be really strong, especially against Tucker when he's showing bunt. Problem is that Tucker can also bunt really well, and a low pitch is a great time to do that.
He shows bunt again, way before Rising offers to home plate. Here comes the pitch. That's called a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Nolan Tucker now.
Matheson was playing on the green of the infield turf, really far in on Tucker. Now he backs up, and he might have to cover third here depending on where Tucker hits the ball. So it's an awkward situation for a usually strong glove in Matheson.
Rising's 2-2. The pitch hit into center field sharply. Duran misplays it, but makes the catch going over his shoulder. He went in, then realized it was going over his head, recovered just in time, and Tucker lines out to center. There's 1 gone in the top of the third.
Now batting for the Miners,
Bad
number
read
7,
for
Caleb-
Duran.
Caleb
He's not
Hammond.
exactly fighting the sunlight. There is some cloud cover rolling in beyond right field, but besides that, it's not a difficult sight from center to see the ball coming from home. First rule of playing the outfield is your first step is back. He came in and almost missed it.
So here's Hannes, the third baseman. Curveball stings the lower part of the zone. It's 0-1. Hannes grounded out to short his first time up. That was a hard hit ball to Tommy Rover. He's got Thurston at second base, Tomerlin at first base, 1 away in a scoreless top of the third. Matsu has won 2 straight games, looking for its 3rd consecutive win and 3rd consecutive win against the Chinooks in less than a week. The 0-1 looped into center field. Duran ranging to his left, and he makes the grab. Momentum going to the wall. He throws into the infield. Thurston tags from second to third, and that's a long fly ball out off the bat of Caleb Hannes. Runners at the corners, but there are 2 outs.
This ballpark seems to be a haven for those long outs. Remember, the first time the Miners played here, Austin Machado was still with the team, and the catcher out of St. John's, transferring to Hawaii, hit a ball almost all the way out of the park, and it looked like it had left, but a gust of wind or something rolling off the mountains in the back must have pushed it back in.
So here's Cooper Vest, who also hit a ball to deep center field in his first at-bat today. That was a double back in the first inning. Runners at the corner, 2 outs. Breaking ball misses high and in for ball 1. So Vest, with that double, is up to 7 doubles on the season. That makes him tied for first place in the league. Nobody has more than 7 entering today. The 1-0 misses low and away, ball 2.
Vest keeps a really level swing. That's why he hits the ball really hard and on a line. But every now and then, he dips his barrel a little too early and reaches up.
That double back in the first now has him with doubles in back-to-back games against the Chinooks. The 2-0 left high. 3 balls, no strikes to Cooper Vest.
Well, you've got Landon Rogers on deck. He popped out his first time up, but if you're Rising, I don't think you want that lefty-righty matchup, especially with the bases loaded.
You don't want to play with fire. The lefty's 3-0, fastball down to the heart of the plate for strike 1. And now, you would think, if it's a strike, Vest has a chance to unleash his power right here.
Well, we've seen it a lot. He hits the ball hard, and he's got 1 home run already.
Yeah, that came 8 days ago in Kenai. Rising's 3-1, dips low, ball 4, and the bases are loaded
for Landon Rogers.
Landon's experienced an uptick of late when it comes to his RBI numbers. He's got 5. He had one earlier this week. The righty has shown off power in batting practice. Be interesting to see if he can really drive one here. Doesn't matter where he puts it as long as it's not at a fielder. If he can lay one down low into a gap, Matsu could bring home 2, maybe 3.
Bases juiced, 2 outs, scoreless top of the third. Rising's pitch to Rogers. Catches the bottom of the zone, called a strike. It appeared maybe an inch below the knees, but home plate umpire Aiden Sessler calls it a strike. It's 0-1. Long look in from Rising, dangling that left arm. He resets out of the stretch. Fastball flared up and out of the field. It's 0-2.
That ball brought to you by Napa, your Alaska.
Rogers
Napa
this
Auto
season at Santa Fe Community College had 2 doubles, 1 triple, and 2 home runs in 18 games. This year in the ABL, he has 2 doubles, 1 triple, 0 home runs. 0 extra base hits against Chugiak entering today. The pitch, curveball, catches the zone. Strike 3 on the breaking ball. Got him looking. Matsu strands 3, and after 2.5 innings, it's still 0-0. We will keep it right here for today's rendition of the Pickaxe Pickle.
That's right. So, going back into the Matsu alumni, Dave Stapleton pitched for the M's in 1983 before becoming a big leaguer. And after that major league career, he switched his career choice twice. What were his 2 jobs after Major League Baseball? Your hint, Austin, you get to think about Mary Poppins for the first job and the 2023 minors. These guys in front of us for the second. So,
well, Mary Poppins did the flying bit, did the umbrella bit. I'm not really sure what else she did. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie.
She looked after the kids.
It's true,
I think she probably put them into some danger. What was up with going into the animated land? I don't think that would be safe today.
The 2023 minors for the second, so that could mean a lot of things, I guess.
Well, it's a good thing whoever devised this question designed it to be ambiguous. Whoever that person could be.
Yeah, the ambiguous questions don't really help me out. It's more the very more direct hints that give me a chance. So here we go. Bottom of the third has rolled along. To my left is Jesse Cook. I'm Austin Bear. Cannon Daly about to deal with the top of the order. Austin Young, Ryan Leonasia, and Ryan Callahan. Remember, Young was up at the dish to end the second inning when Kevin Duran was caught stealing at second base off the throw from Brandon Rogers, making a second start at catcher this season. Austin places down a bunt, fielded by Daly, thrown to first base. Just in time. Daly rifled that throw to first base, and Young is retired. 1 gone in the third.
Strong play for Daly, considering he had to barehand that ball. It's a turf field, so it might be a little easier than on the Herman Brothers Field grass, because there's nothing really preventing you from picking up the ball. But it's hard to grab it barehand on the move.
So here's Leonasia. The right-hand batter takes a strike in the outside corner. And it feels like for the first time in 5 minutes, there's no background music being played here at Lee Jordan Field.
Yeah.
Give our ears a bit of a break. The 0-1. Fastball sliced over the head of Daly. Tucker collects it at second, delivers a strike on the first just in the nick of time. 2 gone in the bottom of the third.
Ladies and gentlemen, come out to bat for your Chinooks. Let's give a hand to number 25, Ryan Callahan. It's home sweet home here in the...
So here's Ryan Callahan. He reached on an infield single his first time up, and he ducks out of the way on a fastball
that grazed just over his helmet for ball 1.
Well, I guess if you're going to miss the zone, miss big and do it with nobody on base.
Well, Daly did plunk Duran in the helmet in the second inning, so it's been a similar pitch right there. That one is slapped foul.
That foul ball
It's
brought
1-1.
to you by Carlson Law Group.
Callahan, he's the 3-hitter, but in his 25 hits this season has just 3 extra base hits. All of those were doubles. The 1-1, changeup, popped up, shallow center field. Tucker runs back to second baseman, makes the catch on the back pedal for out number 3. A quick 1-2-3. Daly retires at top of the order in the bottom of the 3rd. Matsu has Carpenter, Rogers, and Bejarano due up in the top of the 4th, but that's in a few minutes. We'll be right back in this scoreless ballgame.
Rolling back along, and Chugiak gets the top of the 4th inning, and Matsu has Carpenter, Rogers, and Bejarano due up. And Caden Carpenter at the plate. He struck out on 3 pitches last time. His kryptonite has been that low inside curveball, and that's what got him. With Austin Barach, I'm Jesse Cook. It's 0-0. Grant Rising deals a fastball low and away. Carpenter swings and cuts it off the left side, way foul.
Northwest Carpet Company.
Carpenter has had problems with the strikeout this season. He's got 19 of them. That puts him first on the minors roster. The 0-1, front door curveball missed below the knees. It's a 1-1 count for the Matsu right fielder. He's a Utah native, and that's where he goes to school. The 1-1 skips low for a ball. Carpenter, one of 2 members of this minors squad that played for the Utah Utes this past season. Him and Brady Malett, the reliever. 2-1. Low and inside, ball 3. Carpenter has also been a walk machine. He leads the Alaska Baseball League in bases on balls with 24. Rising winds. He fires. Misses up high. That's 25. Caden Carpenter aboard with another walk, and that sets up Braden Rogers well with a runner on first and nobody out.
I was looking at infrequent the other day, and I noticed how infrequent he does not walk. He walks almost every game.
Well, he's got an on-base percentage of .449. That's pretty dang good. Here's Braden Rogers. He lined out to short last time up. Lefty-righty matchup. Runner on first, nobody out. The pitch. Misses up high for a ball. It's 0-0, but that doesn't mean that these teams haven't threatened. Both the Miners and the Chinooks have left them loaded. Chugiak did that in the first inning. Had the bases loaded with 1 away, but then a couple of flyouts led to them leaving that inning fruitless. Rising deals a 1-0. Rogers squares to bunt, pulls back, throw over to second. Carpenter steals the bag standing.
Caden Carpenter with his 5th steal of the season, and Braden Rogers has a 1-1 count. That wasn't a delayed steal. He ran with the pitch. Just that Blake Wilhoit was the only person on the Chugiak roster who reacted in time. The infielders didn't notice. 1-1 for Rogers. Rising fires from the stretch. Curveball swung on, batter down the left field line. It whips off Matheson's glove, but it hits the umpire before it can go into left. Carpenter still takes third, but the blue robs Braden Rogers of what could have been extra bases by pure coincidence. Runners on the corners, nobody out for Mario Bejarano, the lefty DH.
And I tell you, Carpenter was almost screwed there because off the ricochet of the umpire, Matheson fielded the ball and was, somewhat close of catching Carpenter running to third base. That would have been a really unfortunate out for the Miners.
Well, the umpires, by rule, are a part of the playing field, and they do their best to get out of the way. It's an unfortunate circumstance when that happens, but there was a phrase in sports that the ball don't lie. So if that's true, then maybe Matsu will string together a couple runs, and if they don't, maybe that means that Carpenter would have been thrown out trying to go home. Who knows? It's like Pedro Borbon. Baseball is a game that can be described in one word. You never know. Lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch. Bejarano swings and fouls it to the left side.
That foul ball brought to you by J.R. Septic Pumping and
Borbon was an
Excavation.
interesting relief pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds back in the 70s and 80s, who became famous for, in the midst of a brawl, eating a hat.
Jeez. That's a psycho move.
Well, he got confused. Bejarano squaring to bunt. The pitch, the 0-1, he lays it down the third base side. It trickles foul, and Carpenter holds at third anyway.
So was that a sacrifice? What's the phrase? A suicide squeeze?
Yes. That was an interesting, sort of. It was a sacrifice bunt, but Bejarano almost made it to first, so...
Safety squeeze, yes, with Carpenter at
ways.
third base. Yes, that's what it was. Thank you, Brandon.
You don't expect Bejarano, a power hitter, to square to bunt. Runners on the corners, nobody out. Nothing in the top of the fourth. The 0-2, runner off for second. Bejarano swings. Batters up the middle on the ground. Fielded at short. The throw to first is in time, but Caden Carpenter scores. 1-0 the Miners lead in the top of the fourth, and Braden Rogers cruised into second base. So there's a runner in scoring position with one away and a one-run lead.
And that is Bejarano's first RBI of the season.
That's right. Any way you can create. That brings up Alex Thurston. He walked last time up. The Chinooks have not retired Thurston since before Matsu went down to Kenai. It's been since the month of June. Over 3 weeks ago. Lefty-righty matchup. The pitch. Swings and misses, fastball low and away. Thurston is a shortstop for Matsu. It's just his third time this season playing at the sixth spot on the defense for the Miners, but he did that every day for Valparaiso. Nolan Tucker was the second baseman. Caleb Hanna is the third baseman. Sound familiar?
Yes.
That's what Matsu puts out today. The 0-1. Breaking ball missed up high, just 71 miles per hour. That is one of the most interesting parts about Summer League Baseball. Every now and then you have players like Matsu's closer, Will Rizza, who can throw up near 100 miles per hour, and you so fast can switch to a player like Grant Rising, who can deal it at 70. The 1-1. Another curveball high and away, 69 miles per hour. That is slow. Braden Rogers, the runner on second base. He takes a couple steps off the bag. Rogers this season has scored 9 runs. Thurston has 5 RBIs. 1 out. 1-0 Miners, top of the fourth. The pitch, runner off for third, swing and a miss, low, no, he foul-tipped it, so Rogers, who would have had a successful swipe, will have to walk back. Well, Home plate umpire Aiden Sessler motions to the Matsu dugout that it's listed as a swing and miss because Will Hoyt lost the ball on the transfer, so Rogers still gets third. And now now Sessler is discussing this with the Chugiak head coach.
Either way, whether Rogers gets to sit third base or not, I've been thinking about Brandon Rogers and how much he impacts this team this season. We obviously know he's a utility player playing catcher today, but on the base path, he's just havoc. He had that delay steal the other day. He finds interesting ways to get on base. He is a gamer. I give Brandon Rogers my Johnny Gomes Award for just being a gamer. This guy knows baseball.
Johnny Gomes Award, pulling out the 13 Red Sox right there.
Yep.
I don't think Braden's got a pretty good beard. That was a band of Bearded Brothers in 2013. He's got the facial hair game going, so I think he lives up to it.
I think he recently shaved the below the lips, but we'll have to talk to him after the game to figure out what he's got going on there.
He's still got the stash.
Yes.
Is it Landon Rogers that changes up his facial hair after he goes hitless?
Lando, yep.
So, to bring you back in, there's a runner on third with one out, a 2-2 count for Alex Thurston, and a 1-0 lead for the Miners in the top of the fourth. Lefty-righty matchup, the pitch. Swings and foul tips it to the backstop right off Will Hoyt's helmet. Count remains 2-2 for Thurston. He's been the victim of 18 strikeouts this season, second on the team. The 2-2 again. Swings at the front door curve, pops up and foul ground off to the right side, and that ball is out of play over the visiting dugout.
That foul ball brought to you by Three Bears, Alaska.
So way to stay alive for Alex Thurston. He's got hits in each of the last two games. It's such an adjustment for so many of these players to hit against slower pitching than fast. Rising has been hanging around 70 miles per hour or less on those breaking balls. The 2-2 misses up high. The fastball, just 85 miles an hour, moves it to a full count. Camden Daly, the Matsu starter, has ticked up above 90 miles per hour a few times already in this game. Gotten up to 92. Rising's 3-2. Swung on and popped up. Foul out of play off to the right side.
That foul ball brought to you by AFL-CIO.
So Rising keeps going back to
the
that fastball low and away attempt or the front door curveball, and neither one has retired Thurston yet.
Thurston can fight at the dish.
Rogers on third. One away, 1-0 Miners, top of the fourth. The 3-2. Curveball. He swings and pops it up into shallow right field. Young chases and he drops the ball. Rogers scores. Thurston is aboard. An error in right field makes it 2-0 Matsu.
That ball just dropped in front of the right fielder and behind the second baseman. That is a perfectly placed bloop single out of Alex Thurston. He fights off all those pitches and rewards himself with a bloop single. Way to get the job done there by Thurston.
So that brings up Sebastian Tomerlin. He walked last time on a full count. He's got a runner on first and one away. Throw over to the bag, no tag. So after that's officially scored a hit, Thurston has a base knock in 3 straight games. Rising taking his time on the hill. Throws over to first again. Tomerlin doesn't even slide. He's back in with a step. No count for Tomerlin. He is yet to see a pitch in this plate appearance. Rising throws. Runner off for second. That's called a strike. Throw to the bag. Way late. Alex Thurston. That's his first successful steal of the season.
There you go, Thurston. Great jump. The catcher Will Hoyt bobbled it in his mitt. No doubt about that steal. I mean, this has been a base running clinic this inning for the Miners.
3 stolen bases as a team. Carpenter had 1, Rogers another, and there's Thurston. The 0-1. Tomerlin swings and misses behind the fastball. Rising resets, pitching from the stretch. There's 1 out, runner on second, 2-0 Miners in the top of the 4th. 0-2. Tomerlin swings and misses. Caught up inside on the fastball. That sets up the top of the order, and Nolan Tucker with 2 away and a runner in scoring position. Rather, not Nolan Tucker, Steven Lancia entering the lineup. He was supposed to have a day off. Something has changed in the Matsu strategy. We'll have to see how this affects the fielding differences, because I would be surprised if Lancia slotted in at second base. He's normally the catcher. That probably means that Braden Rogers will move out to second base.
Yeah.
Makes you worry about what happened to Nolan Tucker. We don't know. Here's Lancia. First pitch to the righty. He watches a ball high and away. He was supposed to get a rest day, so this has got to be tough for him. He's been the best hitter on this Matsu squad, batting at a .426 clip this season with an on-base percentage of .515. Runner in scoring position on second. The 1-0. Check swing at a fastball low and inside for a strike.
It definitely does make you wonder about the status of Nolan Tucker, because he had a hard hit ground out and a line out to center. It wasn't like he was bad at the dish today.
No, not at all. He wouldn't be pulled because of that. The 1-1, Lancia swings and corks it foul down the third baseline.
And as we've mentioned several times on this broadcast, the Miners are thin with depth, with Haley hurt and Barreras hurt. Vergara, he's still at the off day, so theoretically he's still available to play in the field, but besides that, it's pretty thin.
1-2 count. Rising from the stretch. Misses low for a ball. I mean, not to mention that Grant Farlander has left the team. He's been sick the last week, and he made the executive decision to go back home to Texas. So Matsu is in search for a new fielder. Tyler Brunn told me he made about 15 calls within a half hour of learning about Farlander's status this morning, starting at 8 a.m. So with the deadline to sign a player being Saturday, 2 days from now, that's a rough window.
Against the clock.
The 2-2. Swings, ropes it into right field. That's down for a hit. Thurston rounds third. He charges home. The throw to the plate is cut off, and Matsu leads 3-0. Steven Lancia doesn't skip a beat. Doesn't matter if he's a starter or not. He's ready to fill in. $3-0 Miners. That brings up Caleb Hannes with Lancia on first base.
Now at bat for the Miners, number 7, Caleb Hannes.
One on, 2 away, 3-0 Matsu. The pitch to the righty. He swings and pops it up foul. Hannes is 0 for 2 thus far. He grounded out to short in the first inning and flied out to center last time up in the third. That flyout came with the with runners on first and second, just moved over Braden Rogers in that frame. Alex Thurston, rather. Pitch. That's in the dirt for a ball. Now, Hannes came up with runners on first and second, hit the ball about 370 feet to right center, which just barely was not enough. 1-1 the count, runner on second, 3-0 Miners. Rising from the stretch. That misses low and away. Rising settles in. The 2-1 pitch from the stretch. Hannah swings and pops it up. Shallow center field. Kevin Duran is in on it, and he makes a one-handed grab right above his sunglasses. Matsu adds 3 to break open this game. The Miners lead by a trio, 3-0, moving to the bottom of the 4th. And to answer, Chugiak has the heart of its order in Will Hoyt, Rover, and Matheson, the 4, 5, 6 hitters. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back into Lee Jordan Field in Chugiak, Alaska with Austin Barach. I'm Jesse Cook, and there's some defensive substitutions for Matt Sue. Braden Rogers has moved from the catcher spot to second base. Steven Lancia replaces Nolan Tucker, the former second baseman in the lineup, and he comes in behind the dish. Matt Sue leads 3-0 over Chugiak, but the Chinooks have the heart of their order up, the 4, 5, 6 hitters, Will Hoyt, Tommy Rover, and Ryan Matheson. Will Hoyt reached on a fielder's choice earlier. Didn't amount to any runs. Daly on the hill for his 4th inning. The pitch swung on and foul tipped off Lancia. And that really adds to the narrative that this has been a rough week for Steven behind the dish. He got banged up last week in Kenai, but got a few days off. And this was supposed to be an off day for him. This was a scheduled off day for Lancia. But whatever happened to Nolan Tucker has shuttled him back into the lineup and back into the field.
Yeah, it's a war of attrition right now for Tyler Brunn's squad.
Daly resettles. It's an 0-1 count. He throws, misses up high. We know how good Lancia has been with the bat. Singled in his first at-bat today, which was a spur-of-the-moment ordeal, and he got an RBI. The 1-1. Lefty swings and misses way behind the fastball at 88 miles per hour. It's a 1-2 count for Will Hoyt. He's the 3rd best batter on this Chugiak roster as far as average at a 283 clip. The 1-2. Breaking ball misses up high and away. Will Hoyt has been a victim of 11 strikeouts this season. 2 of those have come against Matt Sue. 2-2. Same pitch, same result. Breaking ball high and away is a ball. It's a full count for Blake Wilhoit. Wilhoit is a rising junior at Dallas Baptist University. The 3-2 swings and foul tips it into Lancia's mitt for strike 3. Welcome back into the game. It's Steven Lancia behind the dish. He's already performing well with a good defensive effort, catching that dancing ball off the bat. Camden Daly has a strikeout. That is his 2nd of the game on the hill. That brings up Tommy Rover, the left-handed hitting shortstop. He flied out to left last time up. First pitch. This is up high for a ball. Rover is a rising junior at Fresno Pacific University, native to Brentwood, California. The 1-0. He swings and pops it up, foul off to the left side. And
That foul ball brought to you by Chepo's Mexican Restaurant.
Brentwood, not too far outside of Los Angeles. About a 15-minute drive. The 1-1. This is high and away for a ball. Daly from pretty far away from there in Idaho, in Blackfoot. Two and 1. And that misses up high, a 3-1 count for Rover. Before this plate appearance, Daly had only taken 3 batters to a 3-ball count. Now he's done it on back-to-back hitters.
And he takes a long walk off the mound to reset himself after that.
When he's used to attacking the zone, that's what a perennial starter normally does. The 3-1 pitch, inside, at the belt, but a ball. That's a walk for Tommy Rover, and it brings up Ryan Matheson. Against Matsu, Matheson has been up and down. He started out rocky with just 2 hits and 17 at-bats, but last game he turned on the Jets. He went 3 for 5 on Tuesday. The righty comes up with 1 away and a runner on first. It's 3-0 Miners. The pitch. This is low, skips by Lancia, couldn't quite glove it. Rover cruises into second base. He holds there. That's a wild pitch. It was low and away. Lancia made a peculiar move, though. He backed up as it came in. Must have thought that the cutter was coming a little bit further inside. And that's what happens when you bring in a catcher when he didn't have time to warm up. It's like in hockey when you play the backup goalie. You only do it in desperation mode because it takes time to warm up back there.
Yeah, you usually see that when your team's down like 5-0 or something. In this case, Matsu's up 3-0, but he's in because of injury. Or speculatorial injury.
We don't know what happened.
Yeah, we don't know.
The 1-0. Misses Lone away. Daly started the game pitching around 90 miles per hour, reaching up to 92, but that fastball clocked in at 88. Been riding below 90 this entire frame. The 2-0. He swings at the low fastball, pops it up behind second base, shallow right field, and in is Carpenter to make the grab over his head. 2 away with a runner in scoring position for John Whitney, who grounded out to first base last time up. Matsu was ahead 3-0 in the bottom of the 4th frame. Whitney is a rising sophomore at Samford University. Like Matsu's left fielder, he's a native to Florida. Landon Rogers from Gainesville. The pitch misses up high. Whitney, back in high school, was both a pitcher and an outfielder for Venice Senior High. He earned first-team All-Area honors. Florida, a baseball hotbed. He was named a top 500 national player by Perfect Game. Daly comes set. His 1-0. This is low and away. Whitney was a WWBA World Champion in 2021. The 2-0. He swings inside out and pops it up. Foul off to the left side.
That foul ball brought to you by Napa.
Yeah, Florida, it seems like just about every good player goes through there. If it's not for college, it's for IMG Academy in high school.
Shut out Bradenton, Florida.
Exactly. Daly's 2-1. This is up high. It's a 3-1 count for Whitney. So, yeah, Daly, who had only taken 3 hitters to a 3-ball count for the first 3 frames, has now done it to a trio of batters.
here in the fourth. Throw over to second, misses and gets into center field. Rover holds, though. He didn't know it was out there until way too late. Quick work by Sebastian Tomerlin to charge the loose ball.
And I think Thurston sort of did a half attempt of faking as if he had the ball in that crouch position, looking right at the base runner.
Well, Thurston is a smart ball player. He hasn't tried the hidden ball trick yet this season, but he got himself into and out of a pickle earlier this year with smart base running. The 3-1, this is low and inside, that's ball 4.
That walk brought to you by Lance Anani.
Whitney is aboard with his 6th walk of the season. That brings up Ty Beck. He struck out on a 7-pitch battle last time up. His at-bat will have to wait as pitching coach Steve Hecker comes out to talk to the big righty out of BYU. And Heck is one of the most even-keel coaches in the league, but we've seen him get tossed from a game earlier this season.
I mean, he can get fiery, that's for sure. He has a lot of confidence in his pitchers, and right now he needs his starter to get an out right here to get through this 4th inning.
That's right. You never see him yell at his players. He's very calm when talking to his pitchers, as he knows from his experience in college ball and playing out in the Northwoods League that it is a mental game. You can't let your guys get shaken. So Daly resettles on the hill after that talking to. There's runners on first and second. 2 away in the bottom of the 4th. Miners up 3-0. Here's the lefty Ty Beck. He takes a fastball low and inside for ball 1. Beck entered this game batting at a .231 clip. He's struck out 18 times this year. 1-0. This is up high again. Every team in Alaska has had issues with walks as a pitching staff. There's no team below 100 bases on balls. 2-0. This is up high again. It's a 3-0 count. Tried to slow it down there, put it only at 86 miles per hour, but the control game didn't work. The Miners have allowed the 2nd most walks in the league at 156. 3rd is the Glacier Pirates at 119. What a difference. The 3-0. Up high, ball 4. Of course, that 156 was entering this game. Daly has now walked 4 batters today to move the Miners up to 160 walks as a team, this being their 27th game. The bases are loaded for Kevin Duran. He has not had an official at-bat yet as he reached on a hit-by-pitch off his helmet on the first pitch he saw. There are 2 out, 3-0 lead for the Miners. Pitch to the righty. Up high and away for a ball. There is some action in the Matsu bullpen as Vinny Bianchi starts to ready. What a loss he will be for Matsu. This will be his last game. He starts his academic grad program at Notre Dame soon. The 1-0 is blown away for a ball. And Bianchi has appeared in more games than any other pitcher in the entire league. The righty out of St. John's, who just transferred to be a Fighting Irish of Notre Dame, has appeared in 12 games. Daly's 2-0, misses blown away, ball 3. He's really struggling. He walked the last batter on 4 pitches. Whitney before Beck on 5. Not to mention that Rover, who stands on 3rd, also walked earlier in the inning as well. It's 3-0 for the 9-hitter in Duran. The top of the order is on deck in Austin Young. 2 times through the order, there's only 1 hit between the top 3 batters. 3-0. Blown away, ball 4. Chugiak scores at 3-1 Matsu. Bianchi is taking his time in the bullpen. He's not yet on the bump. So Daly might have a long way to go. But all he needs is 1 out, which is easier said than done. Cooper Vest, the first baseman for Matsu, calls time. He rushes over to talk to his soon-to-be BYU teammate, Daly. Stephen Lancia also walks out to the hill. And again, this must be so tough on him
because he just came in and now he's got a longer inning than he might have expected to play on defense. Of course, it might help him warm up, but that's still tough for him. And he doesn't use knee savers. He says that doesn't help him, but that's got to be murder on the knees to have your body tricked into thinking it's got a day off and then have that taken away.
Lancia is as tough as they come, extremely good work ethic. We were at the gym, the Alaska Club, on Monday morning pretty early, before 9 a.m., and Lancia was already midway through his workout. Incredible stuff from him.
First guy in the gym, last guy out. The pitch to Young, the righty watches one low and away for a strike. The players-only meeting on the rubber worked out well, one pitch in. 0-1. Fastball low and away, 90 miles per hour for a strike.
There we go, Daly. There we go.
0-2 to Austin Young. He's recorded 2 groundouts in this one. The pitch, swing and a miss. Camden Daly recovers nicely, and Chugiak, after scoring 1, leaves them loaded. 4 walks in that inning, no hits. 3-1 Miners. They've got the 3, 4, 5 hitters due up in Vest, Landon Rogers, and Carpenter. It's the top of the 5th inning, and Matsu leads 3-1 over the Chugiak-Eagle River Chinooks. The Miners are coming up to the bat with Austin Barach. I'm Jesse Cook. New pitcher in the game for the Fish is Gage Webster, the lefty out of Vanguard University and a native to Anchorage, Alaska. He's got the 3, 4, 5 hitters for Matsu and Cooper Vest, Landon Rogers, and Caden Carpenter. Vest is 1 for 1. He had that double his first time up before walking in the 3rd. Lefty-lefty matchup. The pitch to the BYU product is low and inside for a ball. Webster has pitched against the Miners only once this season, and he did that on Saturday, July 8th, so less than a week ago. The first meeting between these two this week. 3 matchups. The 1-0. Called strike, high and away. The 79-mile-per-hour slider. These two have matched up 3 times this past week, which is a lot of each other. The 1-1. Vest swings and misses. Low and inside. The changeup got him way out in front. That's a 1-2 count. And speaking of seeing opponents a lot in a week, both of these teams have their next 2 to 3 games against the Peninsula Oilers. The 1-2. Vest swings and fouls off his front leg. Matsu is scheduled for a doubleheader against the Peninsula on Saturday, as well as another game at home on Monday. And the Chinooks have the Oilers tomorrow, Friday, as well as Sunday. Matsu with off days on Friday and Sunday. A nice break for a somewhat banged-up team. Emilio Barreras out of the lineup with a back injury. Maddox Haley with an ankle injury is also out of the lineup. Lancia was supposed to sit today, but he got called into action. The 1-2. Vest swings and pops it over the backstop. He stays alive. Cooper Vest is scheduled to sit out one of the 2 games against the Oilers on Sunday. a scheduled rest. And that's got to be tough for him because he gets the rest, yes, but only for one game when he'll have to play the second one.
I'm sure he doesn't really care.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Low and away, a 71-mile-per-hour slider in the dust. 1 up, 1 down. And that brings up Landon Rogers.
Something to note, an observation. Vest, after he struck out there, looked back at that Chugiak dugout. That's something he does not do. So it leads me to believe that something was said after he struck out, something to monitor.
These two teams have been known to bicker. First pitch to the righty. Front door changeup called a strike. The first time these teams played each other in Chugiak, their third meeting, Will Rizzo was the closer, and he shared some words with the Chinooks bench.
Yes, he did.
The 0-1, this is Hineaway. He seemed pretty fired up, and he recorded his first save of the season in that contest. Matsu won 2-0. The first shutout of the season for the Miners then. The 1-1 called a strike, low and inside. A 1-2 count. That game arrived on a Friday evening. The 1-2. He swings and pops up down the third base line and foul ground. Matheson in pursuit near his own dugout, looking near the wall, and he dropped it. He was feeling for the fence, and in all of that, couldn't find the baseball. Lipped off the end of his glove.
Yeah, he could have made the play. It would have been tough inching near that fence along that third base dugout. But alas, Landon lives to see another pitch.
Again, that Matsu shutout came on Friday, June 16th, coming up on a month ago. The 1-2. Backdoor curveball. Rogers checks his swing. First base umpire says he went around, and that's strike 3. Back-to-back Ks to open up Gage Webster's outing.
That's filthy stuff out of Webster.
That
is tough to lay off of.
Carpenter.
Webster did a good job against the Miners on Tuesday. He only allowed 1 hit in an inning and 2/3. No runs, no walks, as well as a pair of strikeouts, and he made quick work of it on just 24 pitches. Here's Caden Carpenter. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. The pitch. He swings and lines it up the middle. A shot right through to center field. He rounds first with a head of steam, but quickly chops and holds up. Carpenter with a hit. And he's on a roll lately. Yesterday he reached base on a walk. He's reached base every day for the last 2 weeks.
The
last time he played the Chinooks, he had a hit. He also had a 3-hit game before that trip to Chugiak.
That is a hey now, head in the game out of Webster when you see a rocket back at your head.
Here's Braden Rogers. He singled on the infield dirt last time. The pitch. Swings and pops it up to the top of the backstop for a foul ball. Rogers is 1 for 2, although it very easily could be a 2-hit afternoon for him because his first time up, he roped a ball to shortstop. It was just right at Tommy Rover. Runner on first, 2 away. 3-1 Miners. The pitch. Swings and pops it up. First base side and foul. Beck has plenty of room, and he makes a grab about a step off the base. The Miners strand a runner on first with 1 hit in the top of the 5th inning. They lead 3-1. And now it's time to answer our Pickaxe Pickle, today's trivia question. So, we go back in time to 1983 to talk about Dave Stapleton. He was a pitcher for the Miners before joining the major leagues, and after his MLB career, he changed his field of career. What were his 2 jobs after Major League Baseball? And remember that hint. You can think about Mary Poppins for his first job, and the 2023, these current Matsu Miners for the second. Austin, you got an idea?
This is tough. Gonna have to pull this one out. Let's go with real estate broker and baseball coach.
Okay, you're batting 500. Can you tell me where he coaches?
America.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yes,
yeah,
yes. Okay, good.
Fine. Okay, yeah, good. Okay, the answer, he was a chimney sweep.
Whoa.
And
okay.
now he is the head coach
at Grand Canyon University. Grant Richardson, the Matsu Miners lefty, pitched yesterday. Emilio Barreras also out of the lineup today. Both of them are under his tutelage out at Grand Canyon.
Now coming up to bat for your Chinooks is number 1.
It's the bottom of the 5th inning between the Miners and the Chinooks. Matsu leads 3-1. Camden Daly on the hill for his 5th inning of work, and he's reached this point and surpassed it in every one of his 5 starts this season. He's got the 2-3-4 hitters, and Ryan Leonasia, Ryan Callahan, and Blake Wilhoit. There's one hit between those 3, and it came to Callahan, who awaits on deck. Leonasia bats from the right side. Daly pitches from the right side. He just transferred to BYU. The pitch misses high and away. The fastball kissed up to 90 miles an hour, but did not strike the zone. 1-0 count for Leonasia. The pitch, he swings and misses behind the 88-mile-per-hour heater. Leonasia is second on the Chinooks roster in batting average behind Ben Weaver. He hits at a .298 clip. That's 25 hits and 84 ABs. The 1-1 misses inside. Daly has walked 5 batters in this game, 4 of them last inning. The 2-1 pitch. Swings, drives it down the third base side, and just foul by a foot. It's a 2-2 count for Leonasia. Matsu is atop the ABL standings for the first time since mid-June. Beat the Anchorage Bucks last night to take first place back. The Chinooks are tied for last with the Peninsula Oilers. The 2-2 just misses low for a ball. The Oilers also playing today. They're going up against the Anchorage Bucks, and Anchorage is ahead 4-2 in the top of the 6th there. The 3-2 to Leonasia. Swings behind the fastball. He fouled it off to the backstop to stay alive. The count remains full. Leonasia, a big part of his strong average this season has been his prevalence not to strike out. Only 9 Ks. That pitch is swung on and driven into the gap in left center field. It rolls onto the wall, picked up by Tomerlin in center. He wheels and fires it to the infield. That holds Leonasia to a double. One man up this inning, and stands on second base with nobody out. That brings up Ryan Callahan. The Chugiak left fielder reached on an infield hit his first time up in the first inning, but he popped out to second base after that to end the third. Leonasia has his 7th double of the season. That's the first extra base hit for a Chinook batter today. Ready matchup with Callahan. The pitch, he swings and misses. An 83-mile-per-hour changeup from Daly got the better of him. Callahan is an Ohio native. He watches a pitch low. 1-1 count. He's a rising junior at the University of California, Pennsylvania. One of 2 players on this roster from Cal Penn. The 1-1. Fastball low and away, not quite. 2-1 count. Rather, he was one of 2 Cal Penn players on this roster. 2-1. Swing and a miss, high and inside. Cameron Laskowski was another one of those Cal Penn players for this team. Catcher departed in the middle of the season with an injury. Daly holds on the hill, and home plate umpire Aiden Sessler calls time.
This is where you really hear more of the chirps from the Chugiak dugout. You hear them every time we're here at Lee Jordan Field.
2-2. Callahan watches a ball up high. It's a full count. He struggled during the college season, striking out 37 times in 185 at-bats. Daly comes set, stares back at second, decides on home. The 3-2 Swung on, batter right back at the mound. Daly loses it off his hip, fires onto first on the pickup, and he's safe. What? The first base umpire called him out. That is one of the worst calls we've seen. Vest was off the base, and this call is going to be argued for a long time. We are the Matsu broadcast team. We are hired by the minors to be here, and I'm telling you for sure that runner was safe at first. That is an absolutely wrong call at first base. Vest was about a foot off the bag by the time he caught that.
Well, this is certainly interesting. Cause an uproar from this home crowd in the third base dugout where the Chinooks stand. The umpires gather, but
I mean, there's no way about it. That he was safe.
What happened was Daly couldn't identify where the ball was for a moment, so he turned around and eventually found it. And by that time, I thought, oh, for sure, the runner's going to be safe in Callahan.
Wow, they called him out. That is unbelievable. Callahan is called out. That is an objectively wrong call. However, it stands. The umpire's been talked about it. And we're going to take a break because Ty LeBrun is walking out to the hill to take Camden Daly out of the game, most likely. Vinny Bianchi has been warming up for over an inning. So after that chaotic frame, Vinny Bianchi is racing onto the field, and Daly is out of the game after his shortest appearance of the season. 4 1/3 innings pitched. He leaves a runner on third and 1 away. Matsu ahead 3-1, so no matter what, Daly will be in line for the win. Rather, whoever finishes this inning will be. But we'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back to Chugiak. There's a new pitcher in the game for Matsu, and Vinny Bianchi, he relieves Camden Daly after 4 1/3 innings pitched. The Miners lead 3-1 over the Chinooks. Bianchi enters the situation with a runner on third and 1 away for Blake Wilhoit, the left-handed hitting catcher. Daly allowed 2 hits, 5 walks, 3 strikeouts. Bianchi has been the most used reliever in the ABL. His first pitch is fouled off low and inside. Bianchi has entered 12 games this season, this being his 13th, all of them in relief. He's pitched 21 2/3 innings with a 2.08 earned run average. He realistically has been the most reliable relief pitcher this year. The pitch, another foul tip to the backstop.
Unfortunately for Vinny and company, the Chinooks have been his one kryptonite team. He has a 6.75 ERA. That is a small sample size. 4 innings pitched, 3 earned runs.
But that is across 4 appearances, so
Yeah.
he has seen them a lot in different settings. Bianchi's 0-2, swung on and fouled over the backstop. And this is Vinny's last appearance of the season, and it well could be his last time pitching in a competitive, organized, college-level baseball game. He just transferred from St. John's to Notre Dame for his grad program, and he doesn't know if he'll play baseball there. The 0-2 again, swung on, drilled to center field. That's down in front of Sebastian Tomerlin. That scores a run. Leonasia scores from third, and it's 3-2 Matsu. A single for Will Hoyt makes this a one-run ball game, and that finishes the book on Camden Dally. 4 1/3 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 earned
Now it's
runs.
back for your Chinooks.
That brings up Tommy Rover, the left-handed hitting shortstop. He's 0 for 1 with a flyout to left and a walk. He scored his side's first run of the game last inning after Dally walked 4 batters. Bianchi fires. He swings and knobs it to the backstop.
That foul ball brought to you by Chepo's
And
Mexican
Vinny has been
Restaurant.
such a good presence in this locker room. You haven't heard a bad word about him from any player. Although, granted, this team has really gelled. Everybody seems to be friends with everybody else. The pitch. Watches a 79-mile-per-hour curveball at the bottom part of the zone for another strike. It's an 0-2 count for Rover. He's been a victim of 14 Ks this season. That pitch misses low and away.
Rover crowds the plate. He's got his toes on that front edge of the white.
Yeah, Bianchi's got him scared. His 1-2. He swings and pops it up third base side, foul ground. Hannah's charging in, but not enough time to get there.
That foul ball brought to you by Napa, your
That
Alaska
drops
owned
foul.
Napa Auto Parts.
Still a 1-2 count. 1 away, 3-2 Miners, bottom of the 5th inning with a runner on first. Righty-lefty matchup. Bianchi has always been a solid baseball player. He was drafted by the Angels out of high school in the 35th round, but he chose to go to college for his business degree. The 1-2. Fastball low and away, called strike 3. Vinny Bianchi doesn't skip a beat.
And Bianchi just pumped both fists after that strikeout call. He is fired up.
Well, there's a lot of emotion in this for him because he knows this could be his final game pitching in competitive baseball. We wish him the best where whatever he ends up doing, but there's more factors than just his baseball skill going into whether or not he plays for the Fighting Irish. Here's Ryan Matheson, first pitch to the righty. Front door curveball, falls for a strike.
Bianchi told us that he applied to Tufts in Medford, Massachusetts. Got in, but of course going to Notre Dame, so he's wicked smart.
Wicked smart.
Wicked smart.
The 0-1. Another curveball up high for a strike, 80 miles per hour. And Matsu is 1 strike away from escaping this inning with just 1 run's damage. Yeah, Medford not too far from Boston. Not too far from Boston. His 0-2. Curveball low and away, strike 3. Vinny Bianchi with back-to-back strikeouts closes down the house in the 5th inning. Matsu leads 3-2 as we move on to the 6th. Welcome back to Lee Jordan Field in Chugiak, Alaska on a sunny
Welcome back to Chugiak, Alaska on a sunny Thursday evening. The Miners lead the Chinooks 3-2 in the top of the 6th inning. With Austin Barach, I'm Jesse Cook. Gage Webster on the hill, his second inning of work, and he's got the 7-8-9 batters in Mario Bejarano, Alex Thurston, and Sebastian Tomerlin. It's a lefty-lefty matchup with the Matsu DH. First pitch to Bejarano. He swings and cuts it foul to the backstop. Mario, of course, has not hit in a game since the first week of the season more than a month ago, back on June the 9th. Today, he's 0 for 1. He had an RBI groundout last time up for his first ribby of the year. The 0-1 misses up high, a 73-mile-per-hour breaking ball. Bejarano, of course, has appeared out of the pen time after time. This season, he's made 9 appearances as a pitcher for 10 1/3 innings. The 1-1. That misses low and away for a ball. It's a 2-1 count for Bejarano. From Central Arizona, the 2-1 swings and misses. Way in front of the changeup, low and away. Bejarano, a rising sophomore with the Vaqueros, teammates with Sebastian Tomerlin and Braden Rogers during the college season. Both of them in the lineup today as well, in center and now at second base. The 2-2, he swings and stays alive with a foul ball. Bejarano can crank home runs during batting practice, but he looks a little out of sorts with the gameplay, with a couple swings ending up on his front foot. Shakes his head back at his dugout after a couple of them, too. That's been in all 3 at-bats so far. The 2-2. Front door curveball. He checks his swing and fouls it off to the left side.
Mario's choking up a little bit with the 2-strike count, and although that wasn't the most beautiful of swings, it kept him alive.
2-2. Swings and stays alive again with a foul ball over the
That
backside.
foul ball brought to you by Chapo's Mexican Restaurant.
Webster is trying a combination of different types of junk. Changeups, curveballs, a lot of them low and away. He's only tried one fastball high and into Bejarano in this AB. Count remains 2-2. The pitch. Fastball low and away. He swings and drives it into left field for a hit. Mario Bejarano has his first knock of the season, and that leads off the top of the 6th for Matsu. How about that? Bejarano, he's been on the hill all season. He looked a little out of whack at the plate, and there he goes with his first hit of the year. Sets up his teammate Alex Thurston, who's also on a hot streak with 1 hit in each of the last 3 games, including today. Lefty-righty matchup. The pitch. Squares to bunt, lays it down the third base line. That stays fair. Matheson picks up on the run, throws it to first, and it's dropped. Beck couldn't hold on. Bejarano safe at second, and Thurston is into first with an infield hit. That would have been a tough play for Beck. The ball was low and in on Thurston's knees, so if he wanted to avoid a collision, he had to stand back while going for that ball. So that won't be ruled an error. That's an infield hit for Thurston. And it brings up the bottom part of the order, and 9-hitter Sebastian Tomerlin. He reached on a walk earlier, but struck out last time up on 3 pitches. Lefty-lefty matchup. Webster comes set. He deals. Tomlin squares to bunt, but pulls back on the fastball high. Home plate umpire Aiden Sessler said he kept the bunt up too long, and that's a strike. Tomerlin, teammates with Bejarano during the college season, as you heard earlier. And he was, in high school, the #1 player in Arizona as ranked by Perfect Game. The 0-1, squares to bunt again, lays it down the third base side, but foul. Head coach Tyler Brunn said he would never have a batter bunt in a 2-strike count, because if he puts it foul, that's strike 3. Tomerlin has been a good bunt candidate this season. He's laid down 3 of them this year, but this would be a tricky scenario. Ryan Matheson, the third baseman, playing close on that infield grass. 0-2, the pitch. Watches a fastball right down the middle for strike 3. Tomerlin stands frozen for out number 1. And that brings up the top of the order in Steven Lancia. Let's just recap Lancia's evening. He was told he was getting a scheduled off day. He's been banged up the last week, playing catcher
Now
every
batting for the
day.
Miners, number 27, Steven
He started the
Lancia.
first 2 innings on the bench, but then something happened to Nolan Tucker, the second baseman. We still don't know what pushed him out of the game. Lancia was called on to play behind the plate as Braden Rogers moved to second. The pitch to the righty, he swings and misses in front of a 70-mile-per-hour curveball low and away. Lancia pinch hit for Tucker in the 4th inning. He had an RBI single. That shows how good he is in clutch moments. He was told he wasn't playing. The 0-1 misses up high. He was told he wasn't going to play today. He was all geared up for his off day. Austin, he told you and me that he wanted to come up here in the broadcast booth and spend an inning with us.
Well, something tells me it's probably more fun to hit base hits on the field.
That's true, but it's tiring for the catcher
True.
to play every single day. The 1-1. Fastball low and inside for a strike at 82 miles an hour. Remember, last week in the road trip to the Kenai Peninsula, Lancia caught 3 of those 4 games in a span of 2 days. They had back-to-back doubleheaders, and he was behind the dish for almost all of it. Runners on first and second, 3-2 the Miners lead in the top of the 6th, 1 away. The 1-2, Lancia watches one below the knees for a ball.
Before that previous pitch, Lancia had a long look at Webster. Almost like he's trying to figure him out.
Well, Lancia strikes out about a fifth of the time he comes up to the plate. He's got 11 strikeouts and 54 at-bats this season, but he's been just as good with a walk with 11 bases on balls. His batting average has not suffered at all. He's batting .426 on the year, 3rd in the league. The 2-2. Swings and misses. A 75-mile-per-hour changeup had him out on his front foot, and after boarding the first 2 batters, Gage Webster has rebounded with back-to-back outs.
Now at bat for the Miners, number 7, Caleb Hannas.
That brings up Caleb Hannas. The Matsu third baseman has bounced around in the order, spending time in the 9 spot, the 1 spot, and today the 2. He's 0 for 3 with a ground out and a pair of flyouts to center. Lefty-righty matchup with the Valparaiso infielder. Webster deals. Swings and pops it up. Foul ground off to the right side and way out of
Foul ball brought
play.
to you by Napa, your Alaska-owned Napa Auto Parts.
This is Webster's 2nd time pitching against the Miners and 2nd time pitching this season. He appeared in a batting role, really as a base running role, against the Bucks on July 5th out in Anchorage. Didn't end up scoring. The 0-1. In the dirt, skips by the catcher Will Hoyt, and that's a wild pitch that boards Mario Bejarano onto 3rd and moves Thurston over to 2nd base as well. That's a bit of a game changer. Matsu had runners on 1st and 2nd with 2 away. Now, not only is there no longer a force at any base, but there's 2 men in scoring position for the Miners.
And Hannes has hit safely 9 of his last 11, 0 for 3 today, so prime position for him to be due.
Lefty on the hill, righty at the dish. Hannes has 13 RBIs this season. The 1-1. Swings and misses. Webster's dirty curveball dances below the zone at 74 miles an hour. That's slow stuff, and weirdly, that's hard to catch up to.
A curveball, changeup, whatever it is, Webster is throwing it very effectively.
This is how he held the Miners scoreless against him on Tuesday with 1 hit. The 1-2. Bounces in front of home plate. Will Hoyt dropped to both knees to stop it. Webster gave the Miners a problem back on Tuesday. Matsu still won that game 10-6. Noah Tincher's start was not of any help to the Chinooks. He went 2/3 of an inning to start the game and allowed 8 runs with 4 hits and 4 walks. 3-2 Miners today. The 2-2. Hannah swings and pops up out of play off to the right side.
That foul ball brought to you by Carlson Law Group.
And the Chinooks have had just as bad a week as you could ask for. They started this week in 3rd place and are now tied for last. Peninsula Oilers, on the other hand, have been surging. 4 wins in their last 5 games to tie these Chinooks. The 2-2. Hannah swings and foul tips it to the backstop. The count remains at 2-2. Matsu, of course, just recently moved into first place yesterday with a win over the Anchorage Bucks. That was a wide game. The Miners won 13-5 thanks to a 9-run second inning. Every player in the lineup both reached base and scored. Still a 2-2 count for Hannes. The pitch. He swings and fouls off another one to the right side.
That foul ball brought to you by Northwest.
Mario Bejarano is the runner on third. He started off this inning by fouling off 3 2-strike pitches and recording a single after that. Alec Thurston is the runner on second. He had a first pitch bunt single. Hannes, now after fouling 3 2-strike pitches away with a 2-2 count, stands in again. First base is open. The Miners lead 3-2 in the top of the sixth. The pitch. Curveball inside for strike 3. Hannes swung out of his shoes. The Chinooks escape the frame. We move on to the bottom of the sixth inning. The Miners lead 3-2. Vinny Bianchi is on the hill for his second inning of work in what will be his last game of the season before he has to depart for grad school, so you won't want to miss a second of this. We'll be back. Rolling back along in Chugiak, Alaska, underneath the rolling Chugach Mountains, it's 3-2 Miners in the bottom of the sixth inning. With Austin Barach, I'm Jesse Cook. Vinny Bianchi is on the hill for his second inning of work, and he's got the 7-8-9 batters, and John Whitney, Ty Beck, and Kevin Duran. All three of them have reached base. First pitch to the lefty. He swings, dribbles it out to second base. Rogers charges, and can't scoop it up. He tries to glove it over to first, but the bobble wasn't quick enough. So John Whitney, after he walked his way aboard in the fourth, has a first pitch infield knock here. It's not an error for Rogers because that was such a tough play to glove the ball. And Whitney is aboard after one pitch with nobody out.
Yeah, it was a tough play for Rogers to make. One of those soft contact plays that really is just trouble for the infield.
Ty Beck makes his way to the plate. The lefty also walked last time up. It was one of 4 walks in the fourth inning. The pitch to the lefty is low for a ball. Beck struck out swinging in the second inning on a 7-pitch at-bat. That walk, however, came on just 4 pitches. That was handed out by Camden Daly, Matsu's starter. He went 4 1/3 innings with 2 runs, 2 hits. That pitch from Bianchi is high and away for a ball. It's a 2-0 count for Beck. And again, we've been singing Bianchi's swan song this entire week after we learned that he would be departing the team middle of the season. The 2-0, swing and a miss inside, a 79-mile-per-hour curveball inside had him tied up. Bianchi, of course, will attend grad school at Notre Dame, and again, in case you missed it, he doesn't know if he'll play baseball there or not. The 2-1. Curveball up high for ball 3. He pitched at St. John's for all of his undergrad years, and he's got to start his grad business program in the coming days, so he'll be flying out home and then going off to South Bend, Indiana. The 3-1. Curveball at the knees for a strike.
It's a good pitch. That's a good pitch.
Bianchi told us that it was a 50-50 chance that he played baseball, and he didn't know what was next outside of his actual course load. Runner on first, nobody out. The 3-2, high and inside, ball 4. Chugiak puts its first 2 hitters of the 6th inning aboard. Matsu Matsu leads 3-2 with nobody out in the 6th. They're winning the hitting battle 7-4. That brings up the 9-hitter, Kevin Duran. He has not needed to swing the bat today. He reached his first time up on a hit-by-pitch on the first pitch he saw, and then was dealt a 4-pitch walk after that. He quite literally has not taken the bat off his shoulder. First pitch to the righty, he swears to bunt, lays it down right back at the mound. Bianchi gloves it, sidearms it to first. Vest has it. Both runners advance, but there's one away. Chugiak with 2 men in scoring position for the top of the order.
And Bianchi showed off the athleticism and balance there because Caleb Hannes, the third baseman, ran into him. Both players were going to field the ball. Bianchi took precedent and got bumped from behind and still made the accurate throw. Impressive stuff out of Vinny.
Now he needs to buckle down. There's nobody on first. Runners on second and third, one away for the top of the order in Austin Young. The pitch to the righty. Called a strike right over the heart of the plate. Young is the right fielder in today's Chugiak lineup, but he also plays catcher. The 0-1 launches a curveball at 79 miles per hour up high. Blake Wilhoit, the Chugiak catcher, currently sits in the 4th spot, is the catcher today, and he was in right field the last time these two met on Tuesday. The 1-1. Backdoor curve, missed the zone, blown away. 2-1 count. 2 men in scoring position. This is an important game for both these teams because Matsu sits in first place by a half game above those Anchorage Bucks, who will likely beat the Oilers today. The 2-1. Check swing, curveball, top part of the zone for a strike. That game between the Oilers and the Bucks is in the top of the 6th, with Anchorage up 4-2. The Bucks win, the Miners lose. They flip-flop, and Anchorage will be back in first with Matsu in second. Chugiak is tied for last with the Oilers. 2-2. Misses up high for a ball. If Chugiak wins and the Peninsula loses, that will put the Chinooks a game ahead of them for that last place spot, that last playoff spot.
Everybody's stacked up.
Such a close league right now. The 3-2. Blown away, ball 4. Young is aboard and the bases are loaded.
Ladies and gentlemen, that walk brought to you by Lance and Nolly and West Van and Associates Real Estate Team.
So at a pivotal spot in the game, Ryan Leonasia is up. He's 1 for 2. He doubled to left his last time up, but that was off of Camden Daly. He is the 8th batter that Bianchi will have faced, the 5th in this frame. Righty-righty matchup. Leonasia has a .298 batting average this season. The pitch. Curveball low and away for a ball. The middle infielder has walked 11 times this season, actually with 12 now, with one earlier today. The 1-0. High and inside for a ball. 2-0. He is responsible for 11 RBIs. Pitching coach Steve Hecker calls time and makes a trip to talk to Bianchi on the mound. He had success when Camden Daly started missing the zone back in the 4th inning. After walking 4 batters in the frame, he dealt a 3-pitch strikeout to Austin Young after Heck came out and talked to him. So clearly he does have some effect.
You'd certainly hope so, especially in this position right now. I don't think any two situations are created equal. There's different outs, different base runners, different points in the game, different scores. So it goes without saying, in a 1-run game in the 6th inning, in a bases-loaded situation, these are some crucial pitches coming up. Bianchi needs to throw some strikes right here, right now.
Leonasia has a big bat in bases-loaded situations. He had a grand slam against Cal State San Marcos back in April. The 2-0 just missed high and away. That fastball looked close, but it moves the count to 3-0.
Tough call.
Ducks on the pond, 3-2 Miners, bottom of the 6th. Chinooks at the bat with one away. The pitch, fastball high and away for a strike. This is a big moment for Vinny. His last game, as far as he knows, at the college level. The 3-1 misses up high, ball 4. Chugiak ties the game with its second bases loaded walk of the day.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming up to bat for your Chugiak-Eagle Chinooks is number 25, Ryan.
That scores John Whitney from third, and it brings up Ryan Callahan. He had an infield hit to start off his day in the first inning. After that, he has not left the infield with a pop out to second and a ground out to the pitcher. First one to the righty is a curveball low and away that also missed the zone. Ty LeBrun had both palms outstretched looking at home plate umpire Aiden Sessler with his jaw dropped. Can't believe that that was not a strike.
And Bianchi himself had some words there for Sessler.
1-0. He fires. Swing and a miss on the inside curveball. 77 miles per hour from Bianchi. That moves the count to 1-1. The game is tied up at 3-3. Bases loaded for Chugiak. The pitch. Swing and a miss, low and away. Bianchi may have found his stride. Back-to-back breaking pitches have Callahan tied up. Vinny settles. From the stretch, the 1-2. Swung on and popped up behind second base, shallow right field. Carpenter races in and he makes the grab above his head. Runner going home. Throw to the plate. It's a strike. Lancia can't field it though. Beck scores and the Chinooks have the lead 4-3. Carpenter's throw was just about perfect heading to the plate, but Lancia was in an awkward position in front of the dish, trying to make the sweeping tag back, and Chugiak takes the lead 4-3. There's runners on first and second with 2 away for Blake Wilhoit. He singled last time up, drove in his side's second run. Wilhoit takes a moment outside the box. Bianchi comes set. First pitch to the lefty. He swings and misses at an 87 mile per hour fastball low and away. There's some action in the Matsu bullpen. Lefty out of Murray State, Ethan Like has begun to warm up. The 0-1. Curveball right down the heart of the plate for a strike. 0-2. Bianchi fires just high. If Like is due up to relieve Bianchi in the 7th inning, and regardless of what happened in this frame, it's a sweet farewell for Vinny. The 1-2, low and away, misses. His teammates have loved him all season long. He's been palling around with them, laughing and being the life of the party in the clubhouse with those small jokes. The 2-2, swings and fouls it to the backstop. And from a personal standpoint, Vinny has been our friend, Austin.
Yeah.
He's not often that a ton of players go out and talk to the guys who wear the headsets and become friends with them, but Vinny went out of his way, and that shows what kind of guy he is.
Guy's guy right there.
2-2 count. The pitch. Swing and a miss! Vinny Bianchi with a bang to end the inning. Chugiak leads 4-3, and if that really is the last we see of Vinny Bianchi at the college level, then that's a great way to end it with a swinging strikeout. He beat his last batter. We move on to the 7th inning. Chugiak now with the lead, 4-3.
Miners now see themselves trailing as we enter the 7th inning. To my left is Jesse Cook. I'm Austin Barach. It's 4-3 Chinooks with Cooper Vest, Landon Rogers, and Caden Carpenter due up for Matsu. The left-hand pitcher is still Gage Webster. Entering his 3rd inning of work, the first pitch sails low and into Cooper Vest. Vest today is 1 for 2, a double, a walk, and a strikeout. He struck out his last time up against Webster. The pitch, over the middle for a strike. Vest with the double today has a 4-game hitting streak against Chugiak. The pitch, chopper, right side of the infield. Leonasia is there, stabs it, throws on a first in time by a stride and a half for the first out of the 7th inning.
Now batting for the Miners, number 37, Landon Rogers.
So here comes Landon Rogers. He's 0 for 3, pop up in the 1st, strikeout looking in the 3rd, and strikeout swinging in the 5th. Lefty-righty matchup. The pitch drifts low and away for ball 1.
Austin, Landon told us that yesterday he was all set to go for his off day, ready to really relax, and then he had to come in, and he felt bad that he had 3 strikeouts to end his day.
Pops one up. Shallow right field. Young is there, battling the sun, and makes the grab over his head for out number 2. They say the sun does not set here. It is 8:19 local time, for which in most places around the country the sun will still be up. But it's mid-July here in Alaska. The sun still doesn't set before midnight. So lefty-lefty matchup right here with Caden Carpenter at the dish. He singled his last time up and ropes one to second base. Leonasia on the 2-hop, fields it just below the waist and throws on a first in plenty of time. 1, 2, 3 go the Miners. Webster with another quick inning himself. Through 6.5. Chugiak 4, Matsu 3. We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, that brings up... and they will help you out.
All right. Ethan Like has entered the ball game, relieving Vinny Bianchi. Bianchi went 1 2/3 innings. Chugiak has the lead. It's 4-3. Like about to face Tommy Rover, Ryan Matheson, and John Whitney, 5, 6, and 7 in the Chinooks order. Like Bianchi has been super reliable out of the pen this year. This is his 12th appearance overall. He has a 2.22 ERA, 28 1/3 innings pitched.
Now at Dr. Shucks, let's get ahead to number 6, Tommy Rover.
24 strikeouts to 13 walks for Like. Left in the hill, righty at the plate. The pitch sails high for ball 1. The 1-0. Hit to third. Hannes has it and throws on a first in plenty of time for out number 1. We apologize for the brief camera miscue, but seems like we have it back in order.
Yeah, it's always such a beautiful view here in Chugiak. Can you believe it? Almost 8:30 at night, it's 71 degrees and sunny. Makes Alaska great.
It is a good. So here's Matheson, 0 for 3 on the day. Struck out looking his last time up, and he ropes one through the hole on the left side of the field past Thurston into left field. Matheson has his first hit of the evening, and a runner is aboard with 1 out.
Now it's back for your Chinooks, the number 18. Let's get ahead to John Wendy.
Matheson at first base has 0 stolen base attempts and 0 stolen bases, obviously. Lefty-lefty matchup right here at the plate with John Whitney. The pitch. Fastball misses inside for ball 1. Whitney out of Samford University, hometown of Venice, Florida, a rising sophomore at 5'11". Began the day batting .242, 1 for 6 against the Miners. The pitch sails outside for ball 1. Today, however, he is 1 for 2, reached on an infield single his last time up. That was a chopper to Brandon Rogers at second base. 1 on 1 out, bottom of the 7th. Chugiak up 4-3. The pitch down the middle, called a strike. It's 2-1. Whitney with a long stare at the mound. Kicks to first. Matheson back safe at first slide. Whitney crowding the plate as always. Face of the 2-1. Smoke in the left field. Landon backs up, keeps backpedaling, and makes the grab. The runner goes back to first base. There are 2 outs in the 7th.
Now batting for your Chinooks, number 23, Ty Beck.
So here's Ty Beck. Working on an 0 for 1 day, has walked each of his last 2 times up as the 8-hitter. The pitch. Fastball catches the knees for a strike. Beck is up to 18 walks and 19 strikeouts on the season. Likes 0-1. Curveball got him to swing and a miss. It just died on the left-hand batter. It's 0-2. 1 on, 2 outs. Chugiak up 4-3 in the bottom of the 7th. Likes 0-2 offering. Fastball hit softly. Hannes has it. The third baseman fires on a first. Got him. When in doubt, Caleb Hannes comes through there at the hot corner. So after 7 full innings, it is a 1-run game still. Chugiak up 4-3. When we return, we will bring on pitcher Brandon Downer. Stay tuned for that.
Ladies and gentlemen.
back, top of the 8th, rolling along here. I'm Austin Barach, joined to my left by Jesse Cook, and starting pitcher for the Matsu Miners, Brandon Downer out of Cal Baptist University. Brandon, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
So right here at the top of the 8th, Braden Rogers, Mario Bejarano, and Alex Thurston set to face Webster again in another inning of relief work. Rogers takes a ball low.
So, Brandon, when you start the game, how long do you usually look to go? Because we haven't seen someone go this long.
1-0, swung on and missed, 1-1.
Just go as long as the arm feels good. I mean, that's always the goal, whether it's 90, 100 pitches. You know, that's what training gets you up. Try to throw as many pitches as you can and try to stay healthy.
Your last time out, you started off with, 3 no-hit innings.
Yeah, I threw all fastballs in those 3 innings, too. That's always a plus.
The 1-1 misses outside. It's 2-1. Brandon, when you're on the mound, a lot like, honestly, Cannon and Whitehead, a lot of the starters for the Miners, you seem to waste no pitches. You just attack the zone. Is that part of your game plan?
Oh, yes. Our pitching plan over at Cal Baptist is try to go 3 or less to each hitter and try to get a 15 or less per inning, so you could be able to go 6-7 innings and 100 pitches.
It's a good philosophy right there. Braden Rogers swings and misses on the last pitch. It's a 2-2 count to him. Nobody on, nobody out. Webster's 2-2 in the turf. It's a full count coming up. When you have a full count situation, I know you like, your philosophy is to not get to a full count situation, but what is your go-to pitch in this type of instance?
Honestly, for me, it varies per outing. It's whatever pitch felt best in the bullpen and whatever pitch is working best. For me, if it's my curveball is working best, I like to go curveball in this situation.
Webster throws the fastball, and it gets past Rogers for the first out of the 8th.
So your put-away pitch there is a curveball. He went with the fastball. From a hitting perspective, what do you think Matsu batters should expect from Webster by this point in the game?
Right now, it looks like he's been attacking a lot of fastballs. A lot of his off-speed pitches are low, so I'd say that one to hit him. But a lot of his off-speed's been low, so I'm saying probably look the ball up, try to get a heater, get one in the gap here, and let's go to Mario right now.
Mario hit on the inside hand, so he has his first hit by pitch of the season, and he takes first base and will be pinch run for by Ace Whitehead. Ace has done this a couple of times this season, and the speedster, who is usually a starting pitcher but also has batted, hits occasionally at the University of Texas, is at first base representing the game-tying run.
Well, he needs speed right now, and Whitehead has 2 runs scored this season.
This also prompts a pitching change for Chugiak. So we will step aside. Brandon will be back as the Chinooks make a pitching change. We're back. You haven't missed anything. The new pitcher for the Chinooks is right-hand reliever out of Stephen F. Austin, Aaron Plotkin. Plotkin has appeared a pair of times against the minors, most recently here on June 23rd. In that outing, he went 2 innings, allowing 1 hit, 1 earned run, struck out 2 batters, and walked none. He faced just 7 batters in that relief outing. This season, he has a 2.13 ERA through 12 2/3 innings, so he's been highly effective. However, his last outing was his worst. Back on Monday against the Oilers, he earned the loss, allowing 3 hits and 2 earned runs in 1 2/3 innings. And here is Alex Thurston, the 8-hitter, with 1 runner on base after Bejarano got hit by a pitch, and Ace Whitehead is in for him as a pinch runner. Middle infield playing in with 1 out. Plotkin's first pitch, fastball misses outside.
Now, Brandon, you pitch in the same conference as Stephen F. Austin, alma mater of Aaron Plotkin. What do they do well?
Stephen F. Austin, this year I feel like they really attacked our hitters really well, was able to keep our hitters off balance. They took 2 out of 3 against this series when we went there, and I think it was their pitching. They just simply outpitched us that series.
Right now, not a good start for Plotkin. He's missed the strike zone twice. That last one up and over the head of Thurston. It's 2 balls, no strikes. I mean, right here, if you want to pitch to get a strike, you thinking fastball?
Definitely. Coming out of the pen, you need to get that first strike.
The 2-0 fastball does not quite catch the upper part of the zone. It's a 3-0 count to Thurston.
Now, Ace Whitehead, the pinch runner on first, he's also a starting pitcher just like you. You both came to the team in the middle of the season. Have you got to know Ace pretty well by this point?
Yeah, he was actually one of the few people I've met when I came here. What was it, the 23rd?
Yeah.
So I know him and my roommate actually were friends before that, so he was actually the second, third person I met and was hanging out with.
3-0 is in for a strike on the outside corner.
Wow. And, I mean, your first day, you came and sat in this very booth with us.
That's
Correct.
Couldn't hop on the mic, unfortunately, that time around.
No,
the 3-1
I did not.
here. Stings the knees for a strike, bringing up a full count. Thurston today walked, singled, and singled, so he's 3 for 3 with getting on base. Continuing his hot stretch in July here. Plotkin out of the stretch. His payoff pitch, fastball, rather curveball, and it's shot to the backstop right in front of us. Remains a full count.
And Whitehead on first. He's kind of the class clown for this team. Him and Price Simmering.
Yes.
Well, what kind of guy is he in the clubhouse?
Oh, he's a funny guy, always keeping it loose, even out on the field. I mean, you always need a guy like that. So, I mean, I love him.
Decent lead for him, the 3-2. Shot to the backstop again, and it messes up our camera for the 3rd time today. And Downer is there again to try to fix it as Grant Richardson hustles again to scoop up the ball.
Yeah, Brandon, you're saving this broadcast both in entertainment value and in logistics.
Yeah, I try to do whatever I can do to help you guys out here.
It's the little things, the intangibles. The 3-2 again. Fastball misses low. Thurston earns a walk. He's on for the 4th time today. And 2 runners are on base here in the 8th for Sebastian Tomerlin.
Hey, it's a big spot for Seabass. And he's great friends with Mario Bejarano and Braden Rogers, as well as Emilio Barreras. Every team has those sort of friend groups, but feels like the minors gel really well as a whole.
That is correct. I feel like, I came up here late, and I feel like I was able to gel with the team like a weekend, which was really good for me to feel comfortable, always coming into a new team, especially halfway in where everyone makes those, connections. But,
Tomerlin flares one down the first base side, but out of play. That had the distance for a home run, but was wide by about 50 yards.
Wow.
I mean, the quick hands, wow, did he turn around that one?
That's the hardest we've seen almost any player in the minors smack a baseball this year.
good swing for sure right there.
Tomerlin, 8 RBIs this season. None against the Chinooks thus far. The 0-1. Hits softly, tailing foul on the third base side, and it's 0-2.
And foul ball brought to you by Northwest Carpet Company, the right direction in
That was a
Florida.
good changeup right there after going. He pulls a fastball way foul to go changeup lower half like that. Really good execution from the pitcher.
Brandon, what's your thought process if and when a hitter has a long foul ball against you?
Simply do that right there. Try to throw save lefty. Try to go something soft away. See, he's obviously early. Try to get him out front or maybe a swing and miss chase.
So don't do what he hit 400 feet.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's a good game plan.
The 0-2, and Tomlin keeps himself alive with a lunging swing fouled over the backstop.
We've seen a lot of those inside-out swings with 2 strikes for this Matsu lineup throughout this season. How do you adjust on the hill when guys are protecting the plate like that?
Oh, when your team has a really good 2-strike approach, it's honestly hard. It's honestly hard. I mean, they're protecting everything. I feel like you go fastball and they protect, and soft away and they protect. So good 2-strike approach is really hard to pitch to.
Plotkin's 0-2 again. Fastball down the middle, got him. Fastball blew right past Tomlin's swing. And there are now 2 outs and 2 on for Steven Lancia.
Well, White had that runner on second base. Both times he pinch ran before this game, he scored.
Back for the Miners, number 27.
Now he's got the best bat in the lineup as far as average with an attempt to drive him home.
So Brandy just put the rally cap on.
Now I'm actually calling a home run. I saw Grant call his. What is it?
With Vest and Kenai, yup.
And Kenai. So I want to call Steven here, but I want to go one step ahead.
Okay.
I want to call where it lands.
Oh, subway sign?
I think the subway sign
right.
is going over there. He's going to get a fastball inside, probably 88.
All right.
And he's going to turn over the subway sign.
Out in left center, yeah, pull the ball.
Lancia has smashed 2 homers this season, most recently June 29th against the Pilots.
Both to left.
The 1-0 catches the outside corner for a strike. It's 1-1. Lancia also had his first homer of the season against the Chinooks on June 20th. That was back in Palmer as well. The catcher out of UT Rio Grande Valley hit 7 dingers this season in college. The 1-1 low gets past Will Hoyt. The runners advance.
Let's go.
And Ace Whitehead, the game-tying run, is 90 feet away with a 2-1 count to Steven Lancia.
This is a good time now to get that fastball I'm calling. Runner at third. I don't think pitcher, you throw a slider off the backstop, now runs at third.
Yeah.
Usually you don't want to throw that again, get that time run in.
Yeah.
So hopefully he goes try to get fastball by Steven, but it goes over the subway sign.
So you're thinking pressure is all on Plotkin right now?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Okay. 2 runners in scoring position. The 2-1 to Lancia. Fastball. Swung on and missed on the outside corner. It's 2-2. It actually might have been a changeup.
Yeah, I think that was a changeup.
To protect your credibility, we'll go fastball.
All right. Sounds good to me.
All right. Big pitch right here. 2 runners on, 2 outs, a 2-2 count. Matsu down by 1 run, top of the 8th. Plotkin against Lancia. The pitch. Hit, foul along the third base side. So we'll do it again.
And foul ball brought to you by Three Bears, Alaska, the Chinooks official water source.
Lancia has already struck out once today, but he led off his game pinch hitting for Nolan Tucker in the 4th with an RBI single. And he wasn't even warmed up for that. It looked like a surprise to him when he came up to the plate.
Lancia began today batting .500 against these Chinooks, 7 for 14. The 2-2 hit in the air, left center field. Duran ranges to his right. The center fielder makes the grab over his left shoulder for out number 3. Lancia took it about 300 plus feet. Not quite over that subway sign. A bit close, but nonetheless, Matsu strands 2 runners and now has 1 inning left to tie up the game. It's 4-3 as we head to the bottom of the 8th.
station to Gear 10 and let her know. And just to make sure.
Things are getting tense here at Lee Jordan Field in Chugiak, Alaska, halfway between Anchorage and Palmer. Alongside Jesse Cook, I'm Lawson Barach. Ethan Lyke back on the hill, the lefty out of Murray State, about to face 9-1-2 Duran Young in Leonasia.
Big shutdown inning for Matsu. Desperately need this, especially with that Anchorage game trending the way of the Bucks last we checked, with them up 4-2 over those Oilers. And actually, it's up to 12-2 Bucks, so they will assuredly be in a position to take first place if Matsu can't hold off the Chinooks and come back in the ninth.
Duran is 0 for 0 with a hit by pitch, a walk, and a sac bunt today. Like deals, pitches high for ball one. Duran out of Weatherford College, which is where Alex Vergara played before he transferred to Lipscomb. The pitch hit down the third base line, fielded by Hannes on the backhand. He makes the long throw to first base in time. Wow, Caleb Hannes is just so reliable there. One gone in the bottom of the eighth.
Number 12, Austin Young.
Hannes made the final play to end the seventh, had another ground out to start the seventh. Began the game in the field with a 5-3 play, as here's Young. Chops one back up the middle over the head of Lyke, fielded by Thurston, and he's out at first base. Thurston charged, picked it up on the scoop on the low hop, and threw out Young at first base. Two quick outs for Ethan Lyke.
Up to bat for the Chinooks. Six pins. Let's give a hand to number 1, Ryan Leonasia.
So here's Ryan Leonasia. He's walked, grounded out, doubled, and had an RBI walk today. Lyke's fastball misses outside. Sessler calls time, Lyke smiles. There is a reliever warming up in the Chugiak bullpen. The pitch, flared in left field, dives in the corner. Landon Rogers collects it, throws into the infield, but not after Ryan Leonasia has himself a stand-up double, his second double of the game.
Now batting for your Chinooks, number 25, Ryan Callahan.
So here's Ryan Callahan. He's 1 for 3. Sacrifice fly his last time up. That can't happen here with 2 outs and a runner at second base. Lyke's pitch shoots over the first base dugout for
That
strike
ball
one.
brought to you by Three Bears Alaska.
You know, a sac fly with a runner on second is possible. Billy Hamilton once scored like that for the Royals.
Yes, but with 2 outs, which is the situation right now.
That's a fair point
Yeah.
you make.
Lyke's 0-1, misses outside. Yeah, that was a long fly ball to center field. Hamilton scored from second.
Pretty much.
Lyke's 1-1. Shot to Rogers at second base, makes the grab, and that ends the inning on the line out to second base. All right, here we go, guys. One more inning for Matsu to try to tie it up or take the lead. We'll be back for the top of the 9th inning in just a few minutes. Caleb Hannes, Cooper Vest, and Landon Rogers are due up 2, 3, and 4 to try to tie things up or take the lead against Chugiak's Ryan Matheson. Matheson played third base through the first 8 innings. To replace him there at the hot corner is Logan Mance. Matheson has appeared in 7 games as a pitcher this season, most recently July the 9th at the Glacier Pilots, where he earned the win going 1 2/3 innings, allowing 1 hit, 0 earned runs, striking out 2 batters. He faced the Miners back last time these two teams met here at Lee Jordan Field on June 23rd. To my left is Jesse Cook. I'm Austin Barach. It's a righty-righty matchup right now. Caleb Hannes at the dish. He is 0 for 4 today. First pitch fastball up and in. I was clocked at 92 miles per hour.
That's what makes Matheson such a strong infielder, is he can rocket the ball from third to first like that.
The 1-0, low and away, also at 92. Matheson has a 2.07 ERA in 8 2/3 innings this season in the ABL. Those 2 earned runs came against the Pilots on June 11th. Hannes chops one third base side, but fouled by about 2.5 yards. So it's a 2-1 count to the first hitter of this 9th inning. Matsu carries a 2-game winning streak into this game, 15-11, currently in first place, but in danger of losing that top spot to the Anchorage Bucks. Matheson's 2-1 offering, fastball inside again. It's a 3-1 count to Caleb.
It's not a bad spot if you're Matsu, down 1 in this scenario where you've got your 2, 3, 4 hitters and reliable Caleb Hannes and hard-hitting Cooper Vest. Could be Alex Vergara pinch hitting for Landon Rogers third.
Definitely a possibility. The pitch is swung on and roped into left field. That's a fair ball. Hannes rounds first base. The ball is in the corner. Hannes has second base. And he has himself a leadoff double to begin the top of the 9th. The game-tying run is 180 feet away. And that's a good start for Matsu.
A good start to say the least. And if the Miners can bring the runner home, there is no one warming up in the bullpen, so it's likely Ethan Like who will be on for his 3rd inning of work if the Miners can force that bottom of the 9th. They still need a run.
So here comes Cooper Vest. Who would you rather have in this situation? He doubled in the 1st, walked in the 3rd, struck out in the 5th, and grounded out to 2nd in the 7th. He's got 1 homer this season. The pitch, swung on, flared in left field. That's down for a base hit. Hannes is at 3rd base. He's being waved home. The throw to the plate won't get there. Hannes is in. It's a tie game. An RBI single from Cooper Vest, and it's 4-4 in the top of the 9th.
Like any good playbook, Tyler Broughton had a plan, and his players executed it perfectly. Hannes doubles, Vest singles him home. Now you've got Alex Vergara at the plate, one of the hardest hitting players in this league.
Here we go. So Vergara replaces Landon Rogers. Remember, Vergara yesterday hit an opposite field grand slam to open up the game against the Bucks from 5-0 to 9-0. Now it is a 4-4 game. All the momentum with Matsu. The pitch, low for ball 1.
And Austin, in this season, there is only 1 game in which Matsu has been tied with its opponent in the final inning of regulation. And it's this one.
Landon Rogers today was 0 for 4. Matheson's 1-0, fastball outside on a 92-mile-per-hour heater. It's 2-0. Vergara is 2nd on the team entering today with a .286 batting average. He has 12 hits and 42 at-bats. Against the Chinooks this season, he is 4 for 9 with a triple and a double. The 2-0, fastball, hit high, hit foul. It's 2-1.
That foul ball brought to you by AFL-CIO Labor.
It's always nerves in the 9th inning for Matsu against Chugiak. That first win at Lee Jordan Field was a tight 2-0 shutout, and that one felt electric. Matsu has now tied up the game here.
Vest small lead at first base, 1 for 2 on stolen bases this season. Matheson's 2-1. Fastball misses low and outside. It's 3-1.
Well, Vergara's not a bad guy to walk if you're Matheson. He has such a strong bat. And Caden Carpenter on deck has been prone to the strikeout a little bit with one today. But the Miners lineup, when they get hot, they can hit the ball hard.
Still 0 outs after a double from Haynes and a single from Vest. The 3-1 inside, ball 4. Vergara flips the bat, and he has himself a walk. There are 2 runners on, still with no outs in the top of the 9th for the right fielder, Caden Carpenter.
Okay. The go-ahead runner is in scoring position. You've got an insurance run in Vergara on first base. Vest and Vergara are 2 of the fastest guys in the league, and Caden Carpenter has a lot of pop in his bat. He can really drive the ball. If you're Matheson here, as Chugiak has a mound visit going on, you probably don't want to throw anything high speed and in to Vergara because he can, to Carpenter rather, because he can drive it over the right field wall. He has 1 home run this season, and it came on a high and inside fastball. So I would expect Matheson to rebound with some off-speed stuff, maybe on the front door, or try that changeup low and away.
So here's Caden Carpenter, and if it gets 2 more batters across, that would be assuming no double play. We figure to see Ace Whitehead at the dish for the first time this season. But here we are, 2-1, nobody out. Carpenter swings first pitch he sees. It's back up the middle into center field. Here comes Vest. He rounds third base. The throw home, not in time. Cooper Vest scores the go-ahead run. Carpenter flies back to first. Nobody paid attention to Vergara. He has home plate himself. It's a 6-4 game. Matsu on top. Wow, what just happened? What a headsy play by Alex Vergara. 3 runs have scored here at the top of the 9th. The Chinooks don't know what hit them.
Caden Carpenter does his job with a base hit. Granted, he's called out on the bases, but Alex Vergara, amidst that chaos with Carpenter, has the wherewithal to score, and Matsu has an insurance run.
So nobody on the base path, 1 out. Vergara began that play at first base and scored on a single. That is unbelievable stuff out of Alex Vergara. Brandon Rogers swings and misses on a slider. It's 0-2. Wow, I got to catch my breath. This is crazy.
I think Vergara doesn't have to catch his breath. He's so fast that he just jumped up after scoring.
The 0-2 fastball hit to the shortstop. Rover backstabs it, throws on a first base just in time for out number 2. And now in a 2-run lead, the Miners up top 6-4. Ace Whitehead out of the University of Texas is about to have his first at-bat in the ABL.
Well, this past season at Texas, he batted .118. That's a 2 for 17 line. But he had 7 RBIs.
That's right. Whitehead stares at a fastball strike just above the knees.
What a day for Steven Lancia and Alex Vergara, who were told they had the day off. Lancia gets an RBI single. Vergara scores an insurance run in the 9th.
The 0-1 hit high in the center field. Duran is there. Barely has to move, and he makes the grab for out number 3. But not after 3 runs score for the Miners in the top of the 9th. What a rally for Matsu. And here comes Ethan Lake to try to close the door and earn this victory. We'll be back for the bottom of the 9th in just a few minutes. Stay with us.
It's also a choice that a driver has.
Vibes are high right now for the Matsu Miners. They sprung 3 runs in the top of the third and now lead it 6-4 in the bottom of the 9th. Blake Wilhoit, Tommy Rover, and Ryan Matheson due up 4-5-6 for Chugiak. Ethan Lake still in the hill, and he is ready to go out of the windup. First pitch to Wilhoit. Call the ball inside.
Matsu is a team characterized by the next man up mentality and picking up their teammates.
Like, this is his 3rd inning of work today. Fastball right down the middle for a strike. It's 1-1. Daly, the starter, went 4 1/3. Then Bianchi went 1 2/3. Pitch. Hit high down the left field line. Vergara, the new left fielder, calls off everybody. Nobody's around him anyway. And he makes the grab for the first out at the bottom of the 9th.
And in this case for Matsu, the next man up mentality really comes in clutch. Lancia wasn't supposed to play, but he had to because Nolan Tucker had to exit the game. Vergara wasn't supposed to play, but they called on him. Mario Bejarano wasn't supposed to be a hitter this season, and yet he had his hit and an RBI.
Rover sends one over the backstop. It's 0-1. Rover today lined down the first, walked in the 4th, struck out looking in the 5th, and grounded out to 3rd in the 7th. Likes 0-1. Fastball misses outside. It's 1-1.
This feels like uncharted territory for Matsu. They haven't been tied in the 9th at all this season. And now if they were, they're ahead.
Dribbler foul off the end of the bat. It's 1-2 on a fastball
Brought
outside.
to you by Coho Contractors.
Yeah. With the exception of today, if Matsu trailed entering the final inning of regulation, they lost. If they were ahead, they won.
Like, kicks and deals. Fastball popped up and over us. Remains 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And foul ball brought to you by Dakota
Nobody
Dealers.
on.
We do it all.
1 out in the bottom of the 9th. Miners lead it 6-4. The lefty deals. It's slashed in a right center field. Carpenter makes the catch without moving much. And Chugiak is down to its final out.
It's a heck of a story. At one point, Matsu was 4.5 games out of first place. Yesterday, they entered the top spot in the land. And today, when that first place position looked in jeopardy, they rallied in the 9th and are now 1 out rather, from winning this game and notching a 3-game winning streak, 2nd of the year.
So here's Matheson. He chops one to third base. Hannes has it. Crow hops, throws on the first. It's high. Gets beyond the leap of first baseman Cooper Vest. That could have been the final out. Instead, Chugiak stays alive with a game-tying run at the dish.
Ladies and gentlemen, now coming up to bat for your
We were talking about how surefire Caleb Hannes has been defensively this season, that being his 2nd throwing error of the entire campaign. That comes at a crucial time, but if Ethan Light can rebound and pick up his teammate out there, Matsu will win.
So here's John Whitney, the right-hand batter. First pitch to him runs outside, ball 1. Whitney today. Ground out, walk, infield single, and fly out. So he's 1 for 3. The 1-0. Swung on, popped up, but out of play. It's 1-1. Whitney, for those wondering, has 0 extra base hits this season.
Well, short of a home run, an extra base hit wouldn't help at all besides extending the game.
Yes. Likes 1-1. Swing and a miss on the outside corner. Chugiak is down to its final strike.
And like moving up the radar gun there, that was 89 miles per hour on the fastball when he started out at 86.
Like has recorded the final out in 2 previous matchups in the last 7 days. His 1-2 misses outside. It's 2-2.
He had that great 5-inning relief appearance against these Chinooks back on Saturday, earned the win in that game.
Both of these last 2 outings for him have come against the Chinooks. The 2-2 popped up and over us. So Whitney stays alive.
Brought to you by Napa, your Alaska-owned Napa Auto Parts.
Like has a 1.23 ERA against Chugiak entering today. Can he finish the job again? The 2-2, curveball misses outside. It's a full count.
Well, just like today, when Like entered the game against the Chinooks on Saturday, the Miners trailed and then took the lead.
The payoff pitch, runner goes. It's hit in a center field. Tomerlin is there. He looks up and makes the grab, and the Mat-Su Miners win it. A rally just outside of the Valley. Down 4-3, entering the ninth. The Miners storm back and score 3 runs and win it by a score of 6-4. Mat-Su beats Chugiak for the 3rd time in a span of 5 days and earns its 3rd straight win overall, improving to 16-11 on the season, strengthening its position in 1st place. What an impressive win today.
Impressive is almost an understatement for Mat-Su. They are inexperienced. The Miners are inexperienced when it comes to climbing back in games late. And now they've got that experience. And it comes at a crucial time. It's disheartening if you have that gutsy win over the Bucks yesterday and then immediately surrender first base right back to them. Not only do they maintain control of that first place spot, but also they surprised the Bucks, who won 12-2 in a slaughter rule over the Oilers. Anchorage was sitting pretty all happy, and then Mat-Su exploded in the top of the 9th inning. And I think head coach Ty LeBrun's wide grin shows it best that this is a statement game for the Miners.
This totally is, Jesse. What a statement here in Chugiak. What a win, what a rally, what a team. I mean, the Miners were so undermanned entering today. As we mentioned, supposed to be off days for Lancia and Vergara. Entering that 9th inning, down 4-3. After Lancia had that fly out to deep center field to end the 8th inning. So they're like, okay, Mat-Su threatens. I mean, the Miners left runners in scoring position throughout this game. 1 left on in the 1st, 3 in the 3rd. That was a bases loaded situation. 1 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, and 2 in the 8th. And then Hannes has that awesome double down the line to start the 9th. Then Vest down the left field line with that opposite field single that scored a run. Vergara pinch hits for Landon Rogers. He earns himself a walk with like confidence and stride, mind you. Carpenter goes up the middle, and he has an RBI. Vest scores from that, and actually Vergara scores from first base on a heads-up play as Carpenter would be tagged out at first base. Rogers grounds out, and Whitehead flies out. But boy, oh boy, that Hannes, Vest, Vergara, Carpenter sequence, that was the game right there.
Absolutely. You couldn't ask for more clutch hitting. And Cooper Vest, Alex Vergara, Caden Carpenter, over the last 2 weeks especially, have been some of the most consistent hitters in the entire Alaska Baseball League. So that couldn't have come at a better time. And yet, speaking to that to that next man up mentality. So, Lancia isn't supposed to play. Braden Rogers steps up as catcher. Then Tucker leaves the game for an undisclosed reason. Rogers has to move out to second. Lancia has to catch. Landon Rogers out in left field hadn't played the outfield in what feels like forever. Mario Bejarano hadn't hit in over a month. He did that today, and when he got on base with his first hit of the year, when he got on base with a hit by pitch, they called on Ace Whitehead to relieve him on the base path. He took his first swing of the season. Vinny Bianchi, 1 day before he's supposed to fly home, has one last outing and comes through clutch for this team, holding the Chinooks to just a pair of runs. And then Ethan Like, 3rd appearance against the Chinooks this week, turns the Chinooks into the Chino. He comes in 3 innings of relief, coming from behind for the 2nd time against the Chinooks this week. He comes in a losing ball game and earns the win, finishing out. This is just one of the most gutsy wins we've seen from Mat-Su all season long, and I think it's not a stretch to say that this is a preview of what's to come later in the game. Also, Brandon Downer stepped up on the broadcast. He fixed our camera, he talked to us, he did everything.
Yeah, what a win, what a day overall, a statement victory. here from Matsu. That'll do it here. Your final score, Good Guys 6, Chinooks 4 with Jesse Cook. I'm Austin Barach saying thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you guys had as much fun as we did here in the broadcast booth, and enjoy the rest of your day. Let's go, Matsu.